reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
We need some help.
Well, I'd never know that I'm looking on the ride that I've been driving with today. Now, it's a classic set of wheels fixed up the way a brother would like it. Now, if it clean and shiny and the trim is gold anodized under my seats, I got a can of liquid cherries, yo. Oh, baby.
All right.
Coconut colada smelly, cherry machine cruising smooth. Oh, baby. Shiny little smelly little velvet machine. Hey, baby. Check me out when I cruise by on Tuesday afternoon. I've been smelling so sweet like a giant strawberry. You know, I've got that so-cute called smell. If you look closely, you can tell I know the performance in automobile by my crowd in the back seat. Took the suspension out, so I bounced down the road in a Pimp Daddy superpower. A little positive stop, no big deal, someday I'll get around and fixing the brakes. The 1979 Bonbon Catalina, she's sure looking fine now, it's my baby Cadillac. Oh, baby, rush well on interior, be fancy to me. Oh, baby, smoking the Granada and cherry machine and smooth. Oh, baby.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot right off the bat this morning, but why the hell not? Okay, who's better, Beach Boys or the Guess Who?
The Guess Who.
Oh, thank God. Thank God we got off to a good start this morning. Oh! We're in agreement on that. Bad news, by the way. I hate to start with a sour note. Some dead people. It's going around. It's a bitch. God works in mysterious ways. Every now and then he reaches down with that ugly finger, and I wish he'd trim those nails, by the way. People are starting to talk. Reaches down with that magic finger, taps people on the shoulder and says, "It's your time, baby." Peter Tripp. Does anybody in this audience remember Peter Tripp?
No.
Any of you New Yorkers out there?
No.
Come on. Peter Tripp, the curly-headed kid in the third row in WMGM?
No.
He's dead. Peter Tripp, DJ, guilty in payola scandal. Peter Tripp, a popular disc jockey in New York in the late 1950s, whose career peaked when he stayed awake for more than 8 days as a stunt, but later plunged when he was convicted of accepting thousands of dollars in payola, has died in Northridge, California. He was 73. Tripp's career was indelibly tarnished by the 1960 payola scandal, in which the better-known Alan Freed and several other disc jockeys and radio station employees were indicted on charges of accepting money from record companies in exchange for playing their records. See, back in those days, they'd give money instead of, like, Coke. Yeah. Tripp attracted just as much national attention, though, for his sleepless promotion gimmick for WMGM in 1959. He spent 201 hours and 10 minutes awake, much of it sitting in a glass booth in Times Square, spinning records and bantering into his microphone 3 hours a day. When Tripp began to fall asleep, nurses shook him, doctors joked with him, played games with him, and gave him tests to take. After a few days, he began to hallucinate, seeing cobwebs, mice, kittens, looking through drawers for money that wasn't there, insisting that a technician had dropped a hot electrode into his shoe. It felt like an electrode, he said. Tripp was indicted a few weeks after his stunt on a charge that he accepted $36,050 in payola, which back in those days, by the way, was a nice piece of change. He was found guilty of commercial bribery, fined $500, and given a 6-month suspended a sentence. Suspended a sentence? Tripp left WMGM all but penniless, his lawyer said, and bounced around the radio business. Sounds like Johnny Dark to me, you know it? Another one of those radio bounce-around kind of deadbeat guys. Tripp left WMGM all but penniless, his lawyer said, and bounced around the radio business as a journeyman disc jockey, taking spots at KYA in San Francisco, KGFJ in Los Angeles, and WOHO in Toledo, Ohio. WH in Toledo. Tripp, who spent his last years in West Hills, California, was married and divorced 4 times. He is survived by 2 sons and 2 daughters. He's dead. Is there anybody in this audience who remembers?
No.
No. Killed a couple of minutes with that, though. And even worse. And it's interesting, he gets a bigger obit here, I guess because they figure there's more New Yorkers here. That must be the reason. He gets a bigger obit in the paper than pop singer Oliver. Oh, my God.
Boy!
play.
Only 54, had 2 hits in the 60s, and guess what, boys and girls? He's dead. God damn it. Of course, a lot of people, when they heard those songs, they thought he deserved to be dead, even back then. Shreveport, Louisiana, William Oliver Swofford, Swofford, a singer who, under the stage name Oliver, had 1960s hits with a song. Now, I bet you there's more people in this audience remember Oliver than Peter Tripp. Yeah, no question. Even you remembered Oliver.
Sure.
Peter Tripp? No. Anyway, had the 1960s hits, the songs Good Morning Starshine and Jean, Jean, a Morbid Song. Yeah. Good Morning Starshine was like, upbeat, like real bubblegummy, but it was okay, like one of those bright flower power. One of those
really baked. It was
one
great.
of those things you'll see on TV all the time in these little infomercial things where they're sung the hits of the 60s and the 70s. Flower power music, it'll be on there. We don't have it here, unfortunately. Good Morning Starshine, that was okay. But Gene was kind of like maudlin. Gene. Anyway, he's died of cancer. He was only 54. In 1969, Swofford's recording of Starshine from the Broadway musical Hair climbed to number 3 on the pop charts, and the ballad Gene reached number 2. He toured throughout the 1970s, then left the music business in the 1980s and worked in the home construction and pharmaceutical industries. Home construction. He was a carpenter.
If I were a carpenter,
You'd be dead like Heron and Oliver. Swofford's wife, Becky, said the last time these stories, there are no happy endings with people in show business, like Peter Tripp. He left WMGM all but penniless, and here's pop singer Oliver, who wound up being like a carpenter's helper or something like that. And pharmaceutical industry means he was a drug peddler, a pill pusher. Swofford's wife, Becky, said the last time she heard him sing was at a church fundraising event in 1999, during which he was asked to perform his 2 hits. Hey, Oliver, can you sing a medley of your 2 hits for us, please? He's dead. Good morning. He died. And there's another obituary that they don't have completed on here. It says, keep watching this spot for the official obituary of 940 Stupid Talk. Coming very soon. I mean, these ratings, the most amazing story is not who did well, but who either didn't show at all or right next to it. It's mind-boggling to us. First of all, Barry Jackass, how come you're not writing any articles, Barry Jackass, about, as usual, being way off base again, sweetheart? Promoting on the front page as the Miami Herald once again shows their tremendous power, the clout of the Herald. Yeah. You can't complain about their clout because they don't have any anymore. Put it on the front page, tried to bury us with this WAFN piece of crap with his turd burger at 1950 on the radio dial or whatever the hell it is, which nobody can pick up. They've been on the air. They started in August. They were going to blow this place right off the map. Another all-sports station in the town that doesn't know sports from their ass, okay? August, September, October, November, December, 5 solid months. Actually did a little promotion during that time, more than we did, which anything would be more than we did. A couple of billboards, crappy billboards, little TV stuff. I mean, a little attempt here and there. Have they shown anything, one iota, in any demographic, in any trend, in any of those 5 months?
No.
One diary?
No.
No. The only people who listen to WAFN are the people, the sports nerds, we've told you this before, and it's the truth, who work on this station. Running around saying, oh, yeah, those 2 Jews they got midday, those guys are very, very funny and entertaining. Ha, ha, ha. And that Schwarzer from Channel 5, Jim Berry, he's really funny. There is nobody listening to that radio station.
I think they'd be an excellent replacement for you once you retire.
Right. But the thing that's really staggering in this rating book, I mean, it's just unbelievable. That 940 thing it keeps amazing me. I checked out persons 25 to 54, which is men and women 25-54. That's the target demo of a station like that. In the morning, our good, close, personal friends, Suds, and what was the other one's name? Owen Rick? 0.2. That's 6 to 10 a.m., which even includes the first hour of Phil's tape.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. 0.2 with 50,000 watts. When I'm doing this break, stop and figure out with your calculator, with your abacus out there, how much per watt is a 0.2? How many watts do they have to pump up to reach one person? It's unbelievable. It's tear-jerking. We're jerking it. 10 minutes after 10 at 560 WQS.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
The Bible. If you like the book, you'll love the board game. Introducing Go to Hell from Milton Bradley, the board game that tests your faith in God while challenging your knowledge of biblical quotes.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, first question. The meek shall inherit the blank.
Flatware.
Male pattern baldness.
The earth. The meek shall inherit the earth.
Right. You move ahead 5 spaces. You other guys, go to hell.
Go to Hell. The exciting game where you win by forming a deep personal relationship with God before the timer runs out.
Okay, on the 7th day, God did what?
Golf. He went to one of those all-you-can-eat brunch places.
He just puttered around?
Wrong. All of you, go to hell. It was a good book, but now it's a great game. Go to Hell, the biblical board game from Milton Bradley.
And speaking of that, I wonder how God attacked the brunch at one of those all-you-can-eat brunch places.
Fire and brimstone.
Oh, that'll always work for me. I thought maybe he just unleashed some of those wasps. Or maybe some gooks. Anyway, 10:16 at 560 WQAM. Speaking of radio, let's take a call or two. Make sure our phone system's working today because they got a heavy plate here today. Big, heavy-duty plate. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. Happy Wednesday.
You too. I got a couple issues I want to discuss with you.
I like the Guess Who, but I don't like you too. What is it?
I got a couple issues I want to discuss with you.
Yes?
First off, I don't know about your opinion, but mine, I'm sick of these people in the newspapers and the media going crazy over this. The guy died, Derek Thomas. He died.
Yeah.
They make him out to be a saint. I don't know if you know this. This guy has 7 kids in 3 different states.
Right.
He's no saint.
No, in fact, there's who was it? Was it Eddie the Pope or one of the jackass sports writers wrote this morning a whole emotional article?
Kotex.
Huh?
Greg Kotex.
Oh, it was Greg Kotex. Yeah, that figures. About how, well, he wasn't perfect, but you can understand why they had this big ceremony. It was like, I don't understand. He was a football player, you know?
Yeah, he was a football player. I mean, he's not
and
even...
He was less of a scumbag than a lot of others and more of a scumbag than many others, but
he was a
dead,
scumbag.
You know?
He stole cars when he lived down here when he was a kid. He was a scumbag. No matter how you look at it, the guy was a scumbag.
But he's no Evander Holyfield, though. He couldn't match him.
Oh, he only has 7 kids.
He's only got 7 kids. Evander's got like how many? 19 in 28 different states.
Just a priority.
45 different women and 26 more by his wife.
Yeah, and then he was speeding, driving like a maniac.
Right. That part of it is true also.
I mean, come on. The guy caught. I'm not saying. I feel bad, but he caught. I mean, wear a seatbelt. Don't drive like an idiot. You're
going to be very depressed when you find out that Josie Lambeat's making excuses for Cecil Collins in his column in the Sun Sentinel this morning.
I don't want to read it because I'll throw up all over it.
His defense team is turning up info to back up its claim that the Diesel and his neighbor accusing him of burglarizing her place may have been romantically involved before he was nabbed. And a neighbor says Collins and Tina Nolte that he was in the apartment several times before his arrest, alleging that she didn't know who he was before, but she saw him on TV, and he was in there doing hanky-panky, and of course the lawyer says it's not true, and yada, yada, yada. But of course they forget, Josie Lambeat and everybody else forget that Cecil already confessed. He be confessing, and that if he was in there having sexual hanky-panky with her, it's a little bit unusual at 5 in the morning that you remove the screen window and try to bust in through the window. But nevertheless, don't confuse them with the facts. He was just looking around.
Yeah. Another thing, this is totally unrelated, but I'm just curious. I keep seeing when I get off the exits on 995, they're bums. Basically, they are bums. They're homeless people. They say Herald for the homeless. Miami Herald for the homeless.
What does the Herald got to do with the homeless?
That's what I'm asking you. They're wearing these orange shirts that say Miami Herald for the homeless, and they got some rinky-dink newspaper, not the regular Herald, but some other thing. I don't even know what that.
Oh, the homeless Herald, yeah.
Yeah,
they have the El Herald for the Julios, they got the Jewish Herald for the Jews, and now we have the homeless Herald for the homeless.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't understand why the Herald would be like.
It's just 2 pages. It just shows all the locations, all the street corners, the intersections of I-95, where to go, which ones are available, and how much it costs.
Yeah, but why are they wearing Miami Herald T-shirts?
I don't know. We'll find out what that's all about, because I know we have a lot of closet listeners at the Herald.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just a lot of guys that used to work at the Herald until they found out they were Jews. Now they put them out on the street.
No, these were just old bums.
Not that I'm saying the Herald's anti-Semitic, you understand, but of course they are. So let me ask you, do you know who Peter Tripp was?
No, I'm not.
You're not old enough. No, but it's certainly Oliver.
I don't know. I wasn't born in the 50s. I don't know Oliver.
Believe me, you didn't miss a thing. Have a great day, sir.
Later, Neil.
God bless you. There you go. He wasn't born. See, this is the thing that makes me feel so good about life, is that there's some living and breathing people out there, not old farts like me, like George says, the old man. And, of course, he's an old man compared to most of our listening audience. Well, that's true. I was thinking that this morning. I was in the shower. I don't know what made me think this. I'm old enough to be the grandfather of a lot of people listening to this radio show. It's one thing to be the godfather. It's another thing to be the father, and it's another thing to be the grandfather. Yeah, or your monkey's uncle, or your mama. I have a feeling WTMI is going to dump that classical music crap. You know what? And crap is the operative word. I mean, I've gone through periods of my life when I listen to classical music. I really can't tell you why. I have a much broader musical taste than some people. I don't want to mention any names this morning, George, but I have a much broader musical taste and much better musical taste than a lot of people who think they know something about music, which they don't. But at any rate, and I've had, like I said, those periods when I listen to some of that Mozart and Beethoven and Chopin. I do like Chopin, but I don't know. It's like a phase that you go through. And now, of course, the groupies, they're all up in arms because Cox Broadcasting has bought up WTMI, allegedly for $125 million. That's what Bluff was saying this morning in between wiping tears out of his eyes. And the rumor in the building, before I get back to TMI and Bob Green and all this other good stuff, the rumor in this building, since I'm going to start rumors about TMI, is that Bluff Lindsay is going to be the PD at KISS, at Country Kiss, our Country Kissin' shot-kicking station, Schmidt-kicking, because Bob, what's his name, McKay, took his bad wig and went up to their country station in Philadelphia, where they're losing their ass. I don't think he's got the hairpiece for it myself. Bluff Lindsay in a pickup truck with a Doberman and country music. I just can't picture that scene, you know. I've seen some pretty strange things in my time, but I just can't envision that scene. But that's the rumor, and you'll never guess. I don't want to say it was Donnie B. and Geldy in a hallway speculating on this stuff this morning. But guess who they're saying is going to be the PD of QAM once Bluff goes over to KISS?
Joe Zagacki.
Oh, and of course that'll be the day I take early retirement. I mean, can you even envision that? It's depressing enough seeing this one with the tears in his eyes every morning. Okay, that's depressing enough to start your day. But walking in the morning and taking a look at that.
Joe Zagacki.
Oh, Jesus, God. With that prune-faced, fart-filled mind of his. I mean, this guy's an imbecile. What? What are you going to look like that? He's a no talent, no personality imbecile. He wouldn't know a radio if you stuck a big Philco in his rectum and a radio too. God. And they would make him the program director. Well, you know, I mean, who are the choices? How many sports mavens have you got in this town? I say if that happens, if Bluff goes over to KISS, we change the format. I mean, Danny's leaving. Danny and Jimmy, that's all over. You hear them struggling and desperately groping on the sports shows now. They got nothing to talk about. They're talking about Dave Dombrowski and the Marlin pitchers this morning. Is anybody interested in that?
No.
Nobody gives a flying crap about that. There are 3 people in the world that care about the goddamn Marlins, including John Henry. He just wants his stadium, but he don't give a crap about the Marlins. So that would be a perfect time to change the format. No, seriously, that would be a good way to, like, as a buffer to prevent the other rumor that I'm going to start about TMI from taking place. Because Cox Broadcasting, the rumor that I'm starting today is going to make FM talk out of TMI. Yeah, Bob and Tom in the morning. I'm going to be on at midday. Rick and Suds will go back in the afternoon.
Where they belong.
Right. And then we'll put, maybe what's her name? Yeah, put her back on there at night. She and Bob always got along well. Rekindle the old WID, because certainly if Joe Zagacki comes in here, I mean, that paves the way for my exit immediately, and I'll say, okay, I want to be on FM, a signal that they can actually hear, as opposed to like AM, which I've told you for years that AM blows, and it does. Speaking of that, now that we have these ratings out, let me see if there's any other AM stations that really show here, like anywhere up in the top, because here's the Men 2554. Which, thank God, even in spite of that awful October when, for some strange reason, Arbitron couldn't find our audience. But nevertheless, in spite of that, Men 2554 midday.
We're number 1, damn it!
On an AM station with a signal like that. Zeta, Hot, XDJ with that salsa crap. I don't believe that. We're sure that those are wired diaries, by the way. You're not fooling anybody, whoever owns that piece of crap. Look, Gloves 94. Who?
Russell Oasis.
Oh, like I said, he makes me violently ill. I may have to retell the story about the day that he and Joey Reynolds took me to dinner at that formerly Italian restaurant there on Broward Boulevard. Remember those days? Were you around that day?
I was in town, but
trying to under the phony guise, a total lie, by the way, Russ Oasis, that they were starting a goddamn talk network to try to, because I wouldn't go to them under the original thing they tried to get me to go to dinner, and what they wanted me to do was to sabotage Rick and Suds so that Joey could get on a goddamn afternoon show at that time, which in those days they were on in the afternoon. That was the whole purpose of that dinner, which I walked out of about 2/3 of the way through. Yeah. They wanted me to go to Bob Green and get Rick and Suds fired so Joey could get his skinny little talentless ass on in the afternoon and play with his 4 little groupies on the radio. That's Russ Oasis for you. Anyway, getting back to this. Big. Smegma. Smegma's dropping by leaps and bounds. Another 6 months, Smegma will be history. They can stick that disco music in there.
Rectum.
Kiss with that... You know, solid as a rock with that 4-share. Now, they did have in the summer book, they had a 5-point. Oh! But there must have been some Schmidt kickers in from out of town for the summertime or something, because it's generally about a 4. Pretty consistent. In fact, if I was Bob Green, I'd probably think of putting some, like, urban country on there on that TMI. Yeah, so like some good country music. Blow Kiss's ass right out of the water. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting.
Good country music?
Well, I'm talking relatively speaking. I mean, I don't like country music any more than you do, although I do like Marty Robbins, a white sport coat and a pink carnation.
I like Johnny Cash.
Like I said, your taste. But then again, after Grandma kept unzipping his pants when he was a little kid, you know, it kind of went to his brains.
Only one South Florida radio station has the hammer. Goldberg, weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
That's the honey, Junior.
Hello, I'm Lowry Mays.
And I'm Bill Kennard, chairman of the FCC.
We're here to thank all of you for not paying attention to anything we do.
And I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mays, for all the women. I've had my share of whores, but you outdid yourself by sending Mariah Carey.
My pleasure, Bill.
Oh, and that bottle of wine you left on my car seat.
Don't mention it, Bill. Why, without your help, Clear Channel Corporation couldn't have assimilated every radio station in the country. Now, why not tell everyone the exciting news about the new FCC?
It's kind of hard this way.
You can take your tongue out now. Well, from this point on, the Communications Act of 1936 is no longer valid, and the Federal Communications Commission will now be known as Friends of Clear Channel. But you still can't say doo-doo on the air, right, Bill?
What do you say, Mr. Mays?
Say, how about another one of them satellites?
Certainly, and, say hi to Willie.
Wipe your mouth, boy.
1031 at 560 WQM. Here's a fact that says you're absolutely right.
Joe Zagacki.
Does suck, but wait a minute. What was that?
Joe Zagacki.
Does suck, but anything that keeps him off the air is a good thing. A little quick on the trigger finger there. Yeah, Joe Zagacki, here's a man with no personality, no talent, no knowledge. On the air, he's as dull as hearing a goddamn test pattern. How would you like to have the test pattern on the radio? Yeah, it's just like a tone like that, like a 60-cycle tone, like the old Sandy Payton radio show. So anyway, here's they're already writing letters to the editor in the Herald. They're already whining, the little groupies out there, all 2 of them. And this is what happens. I said to George this morning, and this is the truth. If you like to hear harmonica music, you're entitled to go out. I'm sure that if you find some of those old record stores like Blue Note Records, they got Johnny Paleo and the Harmonicats, some of those old Columbia from the 50s harmonica, I was going to say CDs, records, those plastic things that they used to call records, pornographs. I'm sure that you could find those and take them home and listen to them. But don't expect somebody to put it on the radio because, first of all, radio, as you know, is a whore business. And number 2, you're supposed to be able to make money doing it. And number 3, there ought to be an audience large enough out there to subsidize whatever crap you're putting on the air. You have to find a niche. You have to find a target audience. Kind of like Stupid Talk is found. A point, what's the point? So the idea of a classical music station, especially in a market as sophisticated as this one, I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable. And of course, why do I say that? Because you're sophisticated, does that mean necessarily you like classical music?
No.
And you have your nose up on the ear and you listen to National Public Radio, WLRN? See, that's a real pseudo-intellectual. Is somebody who listens to Public Radio and WTMI. And believe me, all 10 of them, they're the same fish in a barrel. You'll find them in the same pseudo-intellectual barrel. With their nose way up in the air. They're all much more intelligent than all the rest of us and much holier than thou and much better off, et cetera, and so on. And they're entitled, like I said, narrowcasting. In fact, this schmuck, this real putz from TMI, ask Scott Schwartz, he'll tell you what a schmuck this guy is. Woody Tanger, president of Marlin Broadcasting. I told you, does anybody care about anything named Marlin?
No.
Even the fish they don't like so much anymore. The baseball team, the radio guy?
No.
No. He says, I'm not a betting man. I've been surprised many times, but if I had a big collection of Beethoven CDs, which I do, I wouldn't be betting on what station will do, what a station will do. I have no idea whatsoever what Cox will do with TMI. I surmise they're still trying to figure that out. Are they still trying to figure it out?
Yes.
In any case, Tanger said he has here's the best part, a backup plan to keep classic music alive, albeit not necessarily on the radio. We're going to continue live classical music on Marlin Broadcasting's website, www.beethoven.com. All right. We believe the future of classical music is on the Internet. We've made a conscious decision to be the world's classical music radio station on the Internet. What's wrong with that? That's fine. If you want to be the world's harmonica station on the Internet, be my guest. If you want to play Zimfer and plays the hits on his, what is it, the skin flute, if you want to play it, be my guest on your Internet site, not on some radio frequency that you're taking up. That could be taken up by something that might be entertaining. What is it that you're finding in there? You didn't find that Oliver thing, did you?
No, I wish.
What is it?
Mozart.
Oh, we're going to play classical music?
No.
So I say we beat Bob Green and our old friends at IOD to the punch. That's right. We're starting to play classical music today here on QAM. Oh! We just had Bluff Lindsay came in and gave me the memo. It says, as effective 10:30 this morning, February 16, 2000, WQM announces a format change. All classical, all day. Oh! Eat your heart out, Woody Tanger, you piece of dreck. And by the way, Scott Schwartz still wants his money. Will you give it to him?
No.
Come on, he wants the money now.
No.
Yeah, listen to that. I mean, what kind of a person listens to that?
Like you said, it was a phase. It was a
yeah.
I mean, my collection's really nice, but, you know.
What's his name in Clockwork Orange? What was his name?
Alex.
Alex, he listened to a classic. I liked Ludwig van, yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah. And he listened to that, and of course he listened to it a little bit too loud there for a while when he was kind of tied up upstairs and his eyes were rolling around in his head. He sure did have big eyes, didn't he, Malcolm McDowell? And that, of course, that also wasn't the only thing he had that was pretty big, as we saw in that scene with that. What was that thing that was hanging down there in that, in that prison?
It was a snake, Basil.
Yeah, that was Basil. Well, he's got to have someplace to hide him. Ludwig V. And, of course, he was a little bit strange, so I guess we could say that people into classical music, I mean, you're entitled like whatever you want, and all you TMI, all the people are going to be crying, all 10 of you. Here are these letters to the editor. No more WTMI. Please say it's not so. And Tom Jicka. Thanks for mentioning my name again, Tom, by the way.
Oh, God.
Even though you are bald and sometimes stupid and behind the times, you're okay in my book, Tom. Talks about the future. It says, despite WTMI sale, music's future is secure. That's the headline. And then you read Tom's column, and that's not what it says at all, unless you're talking about on the Internet. I don't know what that means. See, this is the amazing thing about newspapers, which usually get it wrong. And that is that the person writes a column, or an article, whatever it is, and then some other person writes a headline. And does the headline always match the article?
No.
No, and in some cases like this one, it doesn't make any sense at all. Because Tom Jicka goes on to say about Cox Broadcasting buying WTMI, he says, broadcasters have to speak carefully during the period between the announcement of a sale and the approval from the FCC, which generally takes about 3 months. However, Bob Green, remember little Bob Green? Remember Bob Green?
Uh-huh.
General manager of the South Florida Cox properties, did nothing to assuage concerns. I love that word. Am I pronouncing that correctly, by the way?
Yes.
Well, I know how it's pronounced, but it's one of those words that when you say it, it doesn't come out the way that it looks. You know what I mean? To dismiss concerns, to soothe concerns, to minimize concerns of classical fans, when he issued a statement saying, we will be exploring all, in italics, all, his emphasis, format options, including classical, to determine the course of action that can provide us with optimum ratings, revenues, and shareholder return on our investment with a minimum of risk. Those are my emphasis added there. Minimum of risk, you cowardly bastards, you at Cox Broadcasting, especially Bob Neal up there in Atlanta, you little twerp. I've stepped on better crap than you, Bob Neal, okay? And I'm not calling you up to wish you happy birthday anymore because Cox ain't buying this radio station. Did I ever tell you about that? About how Bob and Cheryl got me on the phone that time, about a year and a half ago, whenever the hell it was. Be sure and call up in Atlanta. They gave me his inside line to call little Bob Neal up there at Cox Broadcasting and wish him a happy birthday because it's got to be like closer to 2 years ago, shortly after we started. Remember all the rumors that were flying around every day about somebody was buying us? And it was usually Cox Broadcasting was buying Power and KISS, and this company was going to force them to buy this radio station. But at any rate, so I called up Bob Neal and pretended that I wished him a happy birthday. And did anything ever happen?
No.
No. So I'm not going to do it again, okay, Bob Green? Although I'll tell you what, all talk on FM, that's the future of talk radio in America.
You'll call him happy birthday again
if what?
If they make that place all
for about $1.5 million a year. I'll be more than delighted. We got about $3 million in building right off the bat. We can bring them no questions asked. Just move it right over there as soon as this station goes all classical. Or whatever the new format's going to be. Yeah, I love that. I'll keep that going. Beats that Oliver crap any day of the week. Beats the garbage that Schmidt they're playing on Power 96 down the hall. That boom, 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 that garbage they're playing down there. Oh, God, do they play crap. They play the worst frickin' music. Man. They don't play just music for punks. They play music for retarded punks on Power 96. If there's anybody in this audience who listens to Power 96, let's see it on the phone, okay? You got 5 seconds to dial it up. 567-0560. Time's up. See anybody on the phone? No. Nobody listens to Power 96. Anybody that listens to TMI? You got 5 seconds. 567-0560. Time's up. Anybody who listens to that salsa crap on WXDJ? 3 seconds. Time's up. Wait a minute. WQAM. Hello. WQAM. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
What station do you listen to, sir?
Power 96.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. We'll send you two and call us in the morning. We'll send you a pair. Look at that. We had a few people listen to Power 96. Rhymes with...
Of course, he's not listening right now.
No, he's not. Well, of course they're not listening to Power 96 right now. Would anybody in their right mind listen to that crap when...
Neil, God!
It's on the air?
No.
No way, Jose. Oh, that was Jose? 20 before 11 at 560 WQAM. I'm losing it today. I'm just loaded. I'm just full of it. Speaking of being full of it, kill the music, please. We don't want to play that over Pompano Park spot. Or maybe we do. I don't know. Might add a little flair, a little something. You can listen to some music. You can, in fact, take your headset up there. Get you a nice table at the dining room on the 6th floor. Take along your little Sony Walkman and play some Mozart and Maytart and Retard and Beethoven. Yeah, and Bach and Brahms. In fact, get some of those Brock's candies. Are pretty good, too, those chocolates. And just keep popping them in your puss and enjoy the classical music while you're losing your ass. But will you fudge packing?
Rick Riley stole my briefcase. Boy! I like the fart in his face. That's Marmy Dink, what gives him the right. Oh! I think his wife ought to bite it off tonight. Rick Riley stole my briefcase. What disgrace to the human race. Oh, Rick, you're a schmuck. And Goldberg sucks. That wheel of meat should also include Rick Riley's butt. Oh, Rick Riley stole my briefcase. I like a fart in his face.
I need help.
Rick Riley, you're an asshole. Yeah.
I love this show. It's 10:45 at 560 WQM. Whatever happened to them, huh? Doesn't it make you feel sick? Very sad. As you watch all of these people, it's kind of like that Peter Tripp story, you know? Here he was on top of the world, 50,000 watts, 1050 on the dial, WMGM in New York. Even as a kid in Canandaigua, New York, I had my white Emerson radio, and I used to listen to the top, whatever it was, top 30, top whatever they used to call it, top 40, I guess, countdown on WMGM. Used to come in pretty good. And listen to Peter Tripp. How do you like that? I'm probably the only person alive in this town who actually listened to Peter Tripp, who didn't live in New York. I mean, if you live in New York, that's no big deal. And then all of a sudden, the big scandal, suspended a sentence, bounces around from one town to another at all these bumfork radio stations, Topeka, Albion, Michigan, Batavia, New York, Geneva, all these other marginal, and then dies broken, penniless. And you just say, what a horrible thought that Rick and Suds are going to wind up the same way. Man, I need help. With a 0.2. And why do they have a 0.2? Because Peter Bolger. How many times have I told you that? The assassin, the man who destroys everything in his wake, the man who's got more naked pictures of everybody that he's ever worked for. This guy must have not a drawer full, he must have a file cabinet full of naked pictures of the Paxsons, of the Clear Channel people, of David Ross. He's got to have pictures of David Ross with a billy goat. You know what I'm saying? God. And still keeps that job, destroying every life that comes in, destroying every career. Even poor Phil Henry.
Are you sure?
I mean, take a look at that. Part of that 1 hour, 1/4, 25% of that 0.2. You take away 25% of that. That's what does that leave? 25%. It leaves like a 0.1, 0.15, doesn't it? Something like that. Jesus Christ! They don't have 25% to give away. And I can just envision today that I'm going to read a horrible story. Get up in the morning and read a thing about how Rick and Suds got on a flat car, and they're like panhandling across America. Maybe they're going to be in those orange jumpsuits wearing a Harold Homeless thing out on a street corner. Keep your eyes out for them in Broward County. For Rick and Suds out there in the morning instead of being on the air with that 0.2 share. I'll guarantee you, now I know that we got people listening to Power 96. That was just a joke, even though, I mean, what choice have you got? Is there any good music station in this town?
No.
Of course not. The only choice you got your CDs. But I think it would be a tremendous test if we can find anybody who still listens to Rick and Suds. You think it's possible? I mean, we actually have had people who admitted listening to that pitch. And I'll be honest with you, I would never admit that.
Suds remembers, what's his such, the Trip guy.
Oh, yeah? You didn't have a conversation with him, did you?
Damn it.
Oh.
Do you remember Screamin' Jay Hawkins?
Yeah.
Dead.
No.
Yes.
I put a spell on you?
Died in Paris yesterday.
Oh, no! It's like a goddamn epidemic.
He also didn't call to say that.
Oh. I'm sure Suds didn't call that.
Well, that makes us feel like duty.
What is it, the 0.2 or the fact I mentioned that he may have called on the air? Or, I mean, off the air. Hey, listen, when you got a 0.2, is he going to be worried about that job?
No.
No. I feel bad for him and for Rick. Rick is misunderstood, you know? I mean, sometimes he's a prick, but nevertheless, he's misunderstood. He's okay. We like him. Those were the good days. Those were the good times. I have to spend 90% of my time screaming and yelling because the goddamn phone didn't work. We had pretty good times in those days. And then they stuck them on there in the morning. I mean, I could just babble on for 4 hours here today. I could just take a trip to Babylon and do it. About all the mysterious stuff, the ins and the outs, the rumors, the stories, and Ranieri getting canned and getting paid off for like almost a year. They had just re-signed Ranieri like 2 months before to show you what brilliant businessmen they are at Cox Broadcasting. And if you ever read their newspapers in Atlanta, by the way, you'd find out what a bunch of idiots they are, a bunch of redneck yahoos. Although I guess they know their market up there. Plus, not to mention listening to WSB in Atlanta, another Cox station, which, oh, God almighty. Yeah, that's about where it belongs. But there were all of these stories, you know, back and forth about, Chuck Meyer. They brought in Chuck Meyer to do that morning show. Should we do news? Should we do entertainment? So we brought in Chuck Meyer, who was a great news guy. A great news guy with a great voice, with great credibility. And by the way, thanks to our close friends at Atlantic City Subs again, not only for our subs today, but also some soda. Since we don't have any water for my good friend, what's his name? Sal Falcone at Soleil Water. See, I even forgot for a second how soon they forget when you don't supply the goddamn Soleil Water. Sal.
You could drink some of that olive oil.
But at any rate. Oh, that olive oil? Yeah. So they put the Chuck Meyer thing on, and then of course I had to take the blame for that because I ripped him on the air because it was a crap show. He used to do all those stupid phoners, those awful phone interviews. Anybody remember that? Oh my God!
You know, a lot of work went into that show.
Yeah. Well, you sure as hell couldn't tell. And then to prove that Chuck Meyer was no entertainer, that he was a news guy and should have stuck to news. See, that breaks my heart. When you do something well, do it. Don't try to be something else. Like Donald Trump. There's a classic example. He's a BS artist that makes a lot of money. Just go do it. And he finally said, I guess I don't want to run for president because I'm a schmuck. I'm a dummy. And nobody would vote for me anybody. Nobody's that dumb anyway. How's that Reform Party coming, by the way?
Oh!
You do know that Jesse Ventura quit the party.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Last Friday. Nice going there, Jesse. He got out just in time before they had that embarrassing brawl there. What a joke. Yeah. Yeah, they're like mincing. They're a little slap fight. They're mincing at each other. Like the Venga Boys in that video, which you'll never see in this country. But at any rate. And then, of course, we had, I mean, just all the little stuff that went on behind the scenes. Then there was always Steve Nickel. I wonder what was in that drawer of his, you know? I wonder what was in there.
Pens. Pencils.
Yeah.
Paper.
Yeah. Something else that begins with P, like Susan. What was her name?
Powder.
Powder, yeah. Yeah. He's okay, though, Steve Nickel. He's my man. Remember the day he called us from, I wonder if that station is on the air in Jacksonville. I'd be big in Jacksonville, wouldn't I?
No.
No. With all them yahoos up there. Hey, the rumor I'm hearing is that their football team beat our football team 62-7 in the playoff game just not that long ago. That's a rumor I just heard. We'd be gigantic up there in Jacksonville. They don't have just like a bunch of sports nerds up there. They have people that can discuss all kinds of intellectual stuff like classical music, like WTMI. Kenneth Masmacho, by the way, Kevin Spacey, Sissy Spacek, or Yaro Spacek. Yeah, he's supposed to be the greatest actor in the world now, Kevin Spacey. Would you buy that?
No.
Oh, that's
he's all right.
You're supposed to say that.
Sorry.
An American Beauty. Did you see that?
No.
It's got
heard it was great.
7,000 nominations because that's the big thing everybody's supposed to be talking about, which I got here, but I can't talk about it because did I see any of these movies?
No.
No. So how the hell can I talk about it? Although I do think I am going to see that Matt Damon movie. Mr. What was his name? What's the name of the movie?
Looking for Mr. Goodfellas.
No, yeah, that's what I was just thinking. That's not what it is. No, the amazing, the sinister Mr. What the hell's the name of that goddamn movie? Wait a minute, we'll find it here. It's a talented Mr. Ripley, believe it or not. That was the name of that movie. I'm thinking I might just go see that because I do like Matt Damon. He's okay. I mean, on a scale of 10, I give him about a 7. But the previews make it look kind of interesting. Plus, it's a fag thing, you know. And I'm always interested in seeing those fag things.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, here's a call from Wilton Manors. Hello.
Oh, Neil?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
Just calling to ask you about your opinion on the championship with the Toronto Maple Leafs. You think they'll win the cup?
The championship with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, do you think they'll win the cup?
No.
No?
Do you think they'll win another game, I think, is a much better question.
Mm-hmm.
Not do I think will they win the cup.
So how's your puppet doing?
My puppy is doing great, sir, and have a wonderful day. Oh, would that guy have any material?
No.
I mean, I'm telling you, the championship with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Does anybody know anybody that's left on the team?
No.
Mess with success. That must have had maybe Mike Disney, maybe some of the people from Cox Broadcasting, maybe Bob Neal was involved in that deal with the Maple Leafs. All these horrible deals. Just broke my heart watching that. I'll tell you, that was a pretty good game last night. Tampa Bay and the Rangers. Overtime, 2-2 tie. Very exciting game. Certainly the overtime was unbelievable. Breaks my heart to watch Frederick Modine and Todd Warner and especially the great Mike Johnson. They're playing for Tampa Bay for a girls' team when the Leafs can't win a fixed game these days. But then does anybody care about that?
No.
Any going to be at that Ranger Panther game tonight?
No.
I'll be there. I'll be there with bells on. And my friend Ron, the big Flyers fan, I hope he's listening today, and I hope he had a chance last night. Although he might have to call in sick and not attend tonight's game after seeing Martin Brodeur get credit for a goal that the Flyers knocked into their own net while it was a delayed penalty. That's really got to make it. And that was the clinching goal in the game. That was the decisive one. That was the straw that broke the camel's hump. They got a delayed penalty called against New Jersey. They got a chance to get back in the game. And they're passing the puck around. And all of a sudden, oops, somebody gets bumped and it goes off his stick right back into his own empty net because the goalie came out for the extra attacker and they scored in their own net. And the last man for New Jersey who touched the puck was goalie Martin Brodeur, and he gets credit for the goal. Anybody out there ever see a goalie score a goal?
No.
No. A wicked way to lose, a grotesque way, but nevertheless well-deserved by the obnoxious Philadelphia Flyers. They make me sick, they make me nauseous, they make me want to barf. But do we want to talk hockey?
No.
No, let's talk about Peter Tripp, the curly-headed kid in the third row, and about WTMI, what they ought to do with that format, and about Buff Lindsay going over to Kiss, and about poor Rick and Suds. Did we have anybody call, by the way, who listens to Rick and Suds besides Suds? Yes?
Yeah, couple three.
And what do they say?
They say we listen to Rick and Suds.
Oh, thank God for that.
Go to hell.
Well...
I listen.
You do?
Yeah, every once in a while. 2 or 3 times a
week
when I remember.
You don't listen to the worst team on this radio station? Neither do I. 10:56 at 560 WQAM.
Jim Mandich talks sports.
All right.
Weekends right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Okay.
What are those on your feet?
Shoes.
What else?
Socks.
Spell it.
SOCKS.
You just said kiss my ass in Cantonese.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Hey, what's that around your waist?
A belt.
Spell it.
BELT.
You just told someone to off in Zulu.
Oh, my.
And that's just one of the many techniques you'll learn with the National Profanics Language Cassette Program. National Profanics can have you cursing in Spanish, French, Italian, German, and a host of other languages in just a few weeks. So call 1-800 you today. Because the most important thing you'll need to know about other cultures is how to tell somebody off.
Hey, buddy, SOCKS.
There's nobody home. They've all left for the day. Okay, it's 11:01 at 560 WQM. Mom, just want to hear his voice again, okay? I just miss him a lot.
Start licking.
No thanks. Not that much. Yeah, we had some good times over there at good old WID, but those days are gone. You can't live in the past. You can't malinger in the past. All gone down the drain. We can thank Bob Neal for that and all those other goyim up there in Atlanta for selling us out. That's what they did. They sold us out. How many billion dollars do these big goddamn companies have to make before they have enough? Bill Gates, Wayne Hypinga, John Henry, all these other grave robbers. How much do they have to have? How much do they have to squeeze out of your ass before they have enough? In addition to which, don't most corporations need a good tax write-off?
No.
Huh? Don't they need a good money laundering thing? Sounds good to me. They just don't know how to do business over there. That's their problem. Although I shouldn't be saying that because we're just dying to go on WTMI. Where is WTMI in the dial? Do we know? Are they 100,000 watts? Do they have a great signal? I think they do. They have the Class C FM, I believe. Huh? Well, somebody out there will tell us. I bet you we got at least one person in this audience who listens to WTMI. Somebody with some taste, with some class, not just a bunch of crude scumbags who fart a lot and pick their nose all day long. Yeah, that's the stereotype of my audience. Bunch of crude truck-driving scumbags that belch and fart all day. Which, I mean, they may have a point. Well, what's wrong with having a bunch of scumbag truck driving? And here's a pig report on the alley. Speaking of that, hello.
Hey, I'm a truck driver.
There you go.
Hey, they're Broward County's finest. They're doing some public conditioning. As soon as you pay your toll for Alligator Alley,
yeah,
they're pulling you over.
Really?
Oh, yeah, right there, right for the toll booth.
Thanks for the good news, pal.
Love you, Neil.
Slow down. Okay, see, you ask for it and you get it. Sometimes. Not usually, but once in a while. Anybody out there see the talented Mr. Ripley?
No.
Should I bother go seeing it, or should I wait for it to come on TV? Is it really that good? Well, it's just a fag thing, so probably most of you wouldn't have seen that, except maybe the guy in Wilton Manors who had nothing to say. I feel bad about that, because that guy, I mean, he waited for quite a while to, what is it?
You asked for the power, right? Of TMI?
Yeah. And the frequency.
Oh, 93.1 is the frequency. I thought we all knew that.
No, I did not know that.
Okay.
How would I know that? I've never listened to it.
Isn't it preset number 1 on your car stereo?
Yeah, number 1, 2, and 3, just to make sure. Have you ever done that with stations? You have them on more than one preset just to make sure you don't miss...
Bank 1 and Bank 2.
Right.
Okay, but people are calling up with the frequency, and yeah, we got that.
93.1, but they're not...
We need the power.
Well, but they wouldn't know that, because that's an inside thing. I mean, listeners would know the frequency. They wouldn't know the power. They might know Power 96. Which is right down the hallway playing that bump, that crap, you know. That thumping crap. And by the way, I hate to break the news to you out there, all you bigots, but there's a hell of a lot more white kids listening to rap music than Spartans. I'll tell you that right now. No contest. Yeah, it's the white kids that are listening to all that illiterate rap music. That's what we're worried about. The black kids, I mean, what can that hurt, you know? Is that going to do any harm?
No.
No. Because so many of them, unfortunately, are brought up in families where they be speaking like that in the first place. What they're trying to do is pollute the minds of the white kids in the suburbs, like in Coral Springs and Weston. In Weston, where they're selling crack on every street corner.
Crack? Coke?
Coke.
100,000 watts, someone called to say.
That's what I just said. Class C FM, that's what that means.
Classy.
Yeah, classical. So there you go, WTMI 93.1, a perfect spot for my FM talk radio station. What do you say, Bob? Come on, let's get Bob Green on the phone. Or we'll get Phil on the phone doing Bob's voice.
Are you sure?
Positive. Come on, you can do it. They don't have the balls to do it. Again, what would the sense be in the first place of doing that? They already got rid of us once because they couldn't make money on AM. And, of course, the philosophy of FM, especially with that company being the cheap pricks that they are, almost as cheap as Clear Channel, but not quite. The philosophy on FM is that it's got to be a jukebox, your station. Low overhead, don't pay any talent, and just pump the hits. Just find some musical format.
What if we talk and play classical music in the background while we talk?
Urban, downtown, hip-hop, dance, Ukrainian. You know, they got all these different it's all crap. And that's what you get. No originality, no personalities, certainly nobody that wants to make more than $5 an hour. And that's their philosophy of what FM is all about. It's a cash cow. It's a jukebox. Here's a mobile in Aventura. Hello. Mobile in Aventura.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great.
TMI in the morning's got a show called Rock and Roll, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And LRN's got a Sunday morning show called The Prairie Home Companion, which is kind of hokey.
Yeah.
But when you're not on, there's really not too much choice.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
There's a guy who listens to TMI and LRN and admits it. And admits it. How do you like that? Have we had anybody who admits to listening to Rick and Suds?
No.
Yeah, a couple off the air. Nobody on the air. Why not? Whatever happened to those days? See, they broke up that old gang, man. Never be the same again. And I'm sitting here wondering to myself after you had that call off the air from somebody impersonating Suds. How do you get up? I mean, it's one thing, I get up 7 o'clock in the morning. That's early enough for me. Crawl in here about 8:30, 8:45. But how do you get yourself out of bed at 4 or 4:30 in the morning to go into a morning show? And the ratings come out, and they keep every month, every trend, they keep going down and down and down. And you don't have that much to start with. And you finally get down to a 0.2, and you still have to, I guess it's survival is what it's called. Yeah. It's that instinctive thing that we have, the need to survive, need to get a paycheck. It's got to be that. Because what other motivation could you have when it's so unrewarding that there's no tangible evidence that anybody's listening out there? A 0.2? I got to be very honest with you. I think that if we had a 0.2 on this show, I don't think I could motivate myself to come in. Huh? I would just call in, say a few words on the phone every day, and then let you play Ukrainian. We'll play classical music. Play that Mozart again. There you go.
Let's buck.
And still probably do more than a 0.2. Don't we have any Frederick Chopin? I do like Chopin.
Yeah.
Polonaise number 248. In fact, let's play that back-to-back. Mambo number 5 and the Polonaise number 6. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Pretty upset about that Rick and Suds book.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I know. It was a wicked number. A point.
Oh! Pig? Don't say pig in front of Jesus.
Four kids hanging out together, alien probes in their ass, TV don't get better. The chef just might get laid tonight, cheesy proofs abound. You're gonna see Stan throw up his guts if Wendy's around. There's Stan, Portland Kyle, and a talking turd, and at least once a week we hear,
"Hey, kill Kenny! You bastard!"
Oh, the so weird but the wonderful, and Kenny's face is never seen. He gets hit in the head, and then he's dead. The rats snore at him, and then they eat his spleen. No.
Hey, kill Kenny! You bastard! Oh, Stan, you want to know what I think? What? He's doing something to his ass. He's not kicking his ass, but he's definitely doing something to his ass.
It's 11:14 at 560 WQM. We got Hank in the studio again today. By the way, thanks, Hank, for stopping. And he left me the New York Post thing yesterday with a picture of the priest. Remember the story I had about the priest yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Father Dennis Brennan, who became Denise Brennan. Remember that story?
Uh-huh.
And the New York Post, on pages 8 and 9 in yesterday's edition, it says, why this priest wants to be a woman. And it's got not only the original priest, which, boy, is she a lady or what? And I'm talking about the picture as a guy. Woo! Talk about Denise. He makes Denise Potband look butch.
There's no fact in the church.
And then on the other page, on page 9, here is a picture of Father Brennan shopping in a supermarket with his little cart. Here's Denise with a wig, women's clothing, and looks lovely. Looks like a nice old lady, huh? And the reason that they're upset about that, it's got nothing to do with gender crossing, with sex change. It has to do with the idea that if they left him in the priesthood now, they'd have to have a woman priest. Can they do that?
No.
No, they're pissed off about that and fired up. I mean, just one more fag in the church, that doesn't bother them at all, because generally speaking, they're the overwhelming majority. They're like almost unanimous. They have one or two token straight guys in there. One or two people that don't need a good shrink. and wait till you hear the name of the person who wrote this column. You better put that sandwich down. I'm not making this up. This is in yesterday's New York Post. Reveal sex change plan in letter to flock. And basically it's the same story I read yesterday that somebody faxed to me from the Reuters. But the name of the columnist that wrote this, and there's his picture. In fact, he looks just like Father Brennan. He looks like a real prevert. His name is Frederick U. Dicker. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Frederick, why don't you, she's too ugly for me, yeah. His name is Frederick U. Dicker.
There's no facts in the church.
Right. But anyway, there it is. And Denise looks lovely, I'm telling you. She looks like a wonderful lady. 5670560. We got 600 open lines here today. We got a lot of heavy-duty, important stuff going on. We're looking for the Rick and Suds audience, but can't seem to find it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Liz Wild spy reports, any of those hanging around?
Yeah, lots.
About the fact that Pete Bolger has to keep going in there and dragging her out of the studio?
And saying you keep playing all your old stuff.
Playing all my old stuff?
You know, the stuff that's left over in the DCF.
Oh, that's good. Nice going there, Liz. We're just wild about your show, sweetheart. You get back down in the negatives again. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Look at this enthusiastic response again here today. But unlike yesterday, which is my first day back from vacation, do I care today?
No.
No, because the phone is working fine and life is great. We got a nice free meal here from our close friends at Atlantic City Subs in Hollywood, which they are the best. They're great. We love them profusely. And even sent over a big bottle. They stopped and picked it up. A big 2-liter bottle of caffeine-free Diet Coke because we're out of water and soda in here. Because Sal Falcone is laying down on the job. Come on, Sally. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Fort Lauderdale. Yeah. Fat chance of your ass getting on the air again, schmuck. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Boy, and he was on there a long time, too. Too bad it didn't get on the air. Is it too bad?
No.
You're an asshole, man. You're an idiot. You're a moron. No material. You're about as funny as a broken leg. Here's Jacksonville. Hello. Jacksonville.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I was just calling to extend you the offer if you ever want to get out of that one-horse town.
No,
I'm not coming up there.
Come up to Jacksonville.
No, not even to visit.
No, these people got nothing to say either. If it ain't about the Jaguars, they got nothing.
I hear a rumor they beat the Dolphins in a playoff game 62-7 is the rumor that I heard.
I heard a bunch of people talking about it was Mark and Tommy, and Danny and Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
So.
And Danny and Jimmy are both gone now, so what are we going to do now?
I don't know.
I guess punt.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay, have a great day.
Yeah.
He said the people in Jacksonville got nothing to say, and I guess he was out to prove it. He's a good guy. He just didn't have too much material. I'll call the rest of you. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Am I eating on the air again today?
Uh-huh.
And this has got too much fat in it, by the way, but I'm eating it anyhow. I feel great on my low-fat, high-fiber diet. But these cold cuts in the cheese, too much fat. I'm just making an exception because I wanted to get the soda. And it worked. You notice how it worked? Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello. Mobile in Hollywood.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was calling about Rick and Suds. I've listened to him a couple of times lately, and it's just gotten really ponderous. It's not funny anymore. Doesn't seem like. I don't think their format works in the morning. I think they're much better afternoon drive
absolutely correct.
format. You know?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Like half the time now they got Gilbert doing something, and I find that really unfunny. You know,
an act of desperation.
You know, and like they used to do like the payphone challenge and all those kind of things that were fun in the afternoon. You know, and you can't do that kind of stuff in the morning because people are going to work, etc.
I think once Adam bailed out on him, I think that was the end.
Yeah, well, they got to have somebody who's willing to go out and get arrested. You know,
right. That's right.
Be their field guy. You know, because they don't have that, then. And I don't know, their humor just has kind of gotten stale on me. I tune them in sometimes. The other thing I've noticed when I tune over there, it's always on commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
How can it be? I don't understand. They must be selling a lot of cheap spots, Queer Channel, because how do they sell these shows that have got like 0.2s and 0.5s?
Yeah, but
what's the point?
You know, I'll listen
to $1.
I'll listen to some of the competition, and when they go to commercial, I'll dial it over there to see what's up. And every time I do that, they're in commercial too.
And I wet my pants.
And I'll wait for a minute or two and see when their commercials will get over.
Yeah.
And their commercials don't get over, and I tune back to the other station, and their commercials are already over.
I think it's over. Okay, well listen, hang in
there.
there.
I used to enjoy them a lot.
Yeah. Have a
Enjoy
great
you
day.
too.
Okay.
You too.
Bye
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye. I'm hearing these clicking and popping noises, and I saw something really grotesque happen there, and I want to punch up line 4 here. Hello. Now, did you see that? I just punched up line 4, and it went out. There's no dial tone. There is nobody on there, and it just went out by itself. Now, here we are. I'm feeling. Didn't I just get you saying only moments ago that I'm feeling great? I don't give a rat's ass. And here we are, the second day. There's line 4.
Doing it in the other room too. Heads up, we're going to pick it up in the other room. Make sure it wasn't us. It's the phone company.
All right. Well, now, is it just 4? Is it?
No, it's just 4. I checked them.
That don't sound too promising to me. They're on 1.
What's back? What's back? Line 4 is back.
Yeah, but that is line 1.
What about it?
You don't hear
it? I got it all cranked up, that's why.
That's line 4.
I got it down from 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. $567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Let's see if they're going to work today or not, huh? Great mystery of life. They're really expending a lot of energy on this to get to the bottom of that. They're going to spend all that money on that big fancy schmancy new phone system, and guess what? Is it going to work?
No.
No, because they still can't get to the bottom of it because they don't know their ass from my elbow. Here's our last call, Mobile in Naples. Hello.
Are you aware that Al Rantel is doing infomercials on the radio?
No.
Yes. Your Health and You. And they play it like they speed it up.
Alice Rantel?
And it sounds like a Chipmunks video.
Yeah.
And the first one I heard was on a colon cleanse. And now he's doing one for aloe vera.
Rectum?
Yeah.
I just thought you'd be interested.
Thanks for the good news. I'm not interested, but thanks for killing about 20 seconds. Okay, that's it. We're out of business here today, I guess. Boy, talk about a fast turnaround. We were going along there pretty good. And then all of a sudden we started having some phone problems, some mysterious phone action here on his phone. See what's going on here. That one won't even stay on. I punch it on, and it won't even stay on. Look at that. It goes out. Too bad we don't have that whammy show for about 10 seconds. Airline 7 don't sound so good to me either. 5670560. We're going to be playing music today pretty quick. I can see that. So give me a chance to eat some more sandwiches. Out of town line is 877-785-6345. And you hear that? There's no difference. There's nothing that's changed here. It's making popping and puking sound just like it was before I left for vacation. Putting this new different instrument in here didn't change a goddamn thing. We got your
That's them resetting the phone in the other room, that popping.
Yeah, well, what does that mean? They're resetting the phone.
Trying to see if
this is a radio station that cannot put a phone system on the air to do talk shows that work. This is unbelievable. It's unheard of. In the history of the human effing race, this is unheard of. This is it would be like Ford Motor Company and General Motors and Chrysler unable to build an automobile engine and expecting you to buy their product. We can't make a phone system work in here. Here's a mobile in Pompano Beach. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Why you guys always make fun of the Haitian people, eh?
Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello. Mobile in Hollywood.
Hey, Neil, what's up?
Okay.
I'm calling to see if you think the Varg's going to kick the Panthers' butt tonight or what.
If I think he's going to, is he going to play them all by himself?
Oh, they're going to give him about 25 minutes tonight.
No, I think the Rangers are going to get their ass whipped tonight. They
No,
life and death for a tie in Tampa last night against the girls' team last night. They got a tie.
Oh, that's because they played Captain Kirk, man. He got beamed up.
Yeah, it's Captain Kirk. If it wasn't for Captain Kirk, they would have got their ass whipped, okay? So call me back when you know something about the game, which you don't, just like everybody else in this town. I saw the game, okay, sir? What?
It seems to be working now. It's pretty exciting.
Mobile in Miami on 4 is actually working. Hello?
Hey, Neil, what's up?
Yes, sir. You're on a magic line, sir.
I'm on a magic line.
Yeah.
It's the only one that works here, huh? Hey, aren't you wishing you would be back in Amsterdam or what?
Yeah.
These people down here are really, they need a lot.
Okay, thanks for your material, sir. 5670560, pound 5. They have no material. Not even 11:30 yet, and they're out of material. Rick and Suds and Rick and Jimmy and Danny and Suds and Danny and Rick and Jimmy and Davey.
Jim Bocamper talks sports weekends right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
She roamed an ancient mythical land, wearing body armor, taking names, and kicking butt.
Take that, evil George!
But in the quiet moments, alone at camp, she was plagued by anxiety.
Oh, jeez. What if that guy had friends and they come after me? Oh, what if I run out of provisions out here? Oh, what if I'm typecast as a lesbian?
Xena, warrior princess. She knew how to handle a frontal attack at dawn by a bunch of heathens in fake fur with Australian accents.
Gabrielle, watch this way! Doctor, take the high ground!
But Xena, warrior princess, couldn't handle a panic attack at midnight by a bunch of nagging doubts.
Oh, my outfit doesn't fit right since the baby. Oh, I think I'm starting to walk like a girl. Oh, no! Now even I think I'm a lesbian!
Xena, warrior princess, right after some other show whose time you can never remember.
Oh, God, I hope we don't get canceled.
It's 11:31 at 560 WQAM. I think we already did. I think we've been canceled here on the station. 5670, asked yesterday about WXDJ. I had to go for an hour and 20 minutes before I could get one person to tell me what the hell that was. I asked about the talented Mr. Ripley, if anybody has seen it. Is it worth going to see? Have we had one call about that? No. This is a town where the public, it's not just hockey, it's any topic you pick. I've told you this before, and it's the truth. You pick the subject. Can they talk about it?
No.
Do they know what you're talking about?
No.
Do they have an opinion?
No.
And I'm supposed to be doing a talk show here in this town with a bunch of people whose basic general comment is yeah. That's what they got. That old guy, the Red Wing fan that got dumped, that will never get on the air again. These are, like I said yesterday, the people that call are the ones that you never want to talk to again. That bitch that calls yesterday, she went and bet on Hank's horse over the weekend, allegedly, and therefore somehow she's, in her convoluted mind, she's got a notion that I owe her hockey tickets for tonight's game. Do I have any hockey tickets to give away?
No.
Did I say anything yesterday about giving away hockey tickets?
No.
She's not even listening to the goddamn show. But she takes time out of her busy day at work to call me to suck around for hockey tickets, which I don't have in the first place, and if I did, she wouldn't get them anyway. That's the nature of the population in this town. Gimme, 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 gimme. What are you giving away today? What do you got? Because I ain't got nothing. Here's a mobile in West Palm. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing today?
Okay.
Listen
I was
to
doing
your
real
show.
good for about an hour and a half, and all of a sudden we hit a brick wall here.
Hey, I'm not looking for any free tickets or anything. I got tickets to the Daytona 500. I'm heading north on the turnpike right now.
Yeah?
Didn't know what your pick was for the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
My nose. It's for nose pickers.
Yeah, you don't have a favorite?
What do you mean by that?
Who's going to win the race?
I have no idea. Do you think I'm into auto racing? Do you think I
You don't-
care about that crap?
You don't follow it?
Not in the least.
Come on.
No way, Jose.
It's America's favorite sport.
Yeah, and vanilla ice cream is the most popular flavor. Have a good time, pal. Get out of here. America's favorite sport, next to golf. How about that tiger, huh? Who's my pick? I'd rather talk to the guy that called yesterday. Want to know how I arrange my plate. Wasn't that it? Oh, how I attacked the buffet. No, I'd rather talk to Dom DeLuise about how I arrange my plate. Remember that? That was a great line. He was chastising Junior for how he runs his plate. And I agree. You save the best stuff for last.
Not me.
Well, you see, again, you're out of step with reality. That's just not the way that intelligent people operate. You save the real good stuff for last, so you have something to savor. Like the potatoes au gratin. You save those like right till the very end.
Nah.
Like the green beans, the wax beans, eat those first. Or the peas. Okay, whatever you say, pal. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's the mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't think I had you there.
Here I am.
Listen, I got a delivery company, right?
Yes?
Work one day, and there's a delivery ticket there from the Archdiocese down in Miami. You know, I know they're your favorite people.
Oh,
yeah.
Right? So I'm looking at the delivery ticket, and it says big, expensive bedroom set. $25,000 they spend on this bedroom set. To take to $1 million house in Coral Springs, to keep their little priest there happy and living in luxury. And so after I see this ticket, you know, I used to go to church all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm contributing my money every month or every week
Right.
to this church so they can go out and spend $25,000 on a bedroom set that I can't even afford a $2,500 bedroom set.
And someday they might need some of your money for a sex change operation for your priest, too, by the way.
Yeah, right? So then I quit in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I quit going to the church, right? But my wife still goes.
Why is that?
So this last Sunday, she goes to church, and what happens? The Archdiocese of Miami has a special announcement. They need more money because they want to do another project.
Uh-huh.
I told my wife, you
Only
spend one
$50.
more penny of my money over there, then I'll end up
Dumping
divorcing
your
her.
ass, right.
Yeah, right? Boy, let me tell you, I can't even, I haven't been to half the things that I want to do in my life, and I got to give money to a church.
Well, at least while you're still breathing, wake up and sniff the daffodils, man, before it's too late.
I'm telling you.
When they ask you for money, just say
No.
Just tell them Nancy Reagan told me. Just say no.
That's how they give away stuff to the poverty, the poor people.
Okay, God bless you, sir.
Yeah, right. God bless you.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Called my stock guy yesterday afternoon. Had a lengthy conversation with him. Having a meeting with him again this afternoon, and I said,
Only $50.
And you know what he said?
Yeah.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I don't think he knows his ass from my elbow, but I'll find out this afternoon. I'm a little bit skeptical of this guy. A little bit skeptical because when somebody is handling your money, leads you down a garden path one time, I don't think you want to give an opportunity to do it a second time if you're smart. In other words, when he kind of leads you astray with maybe some misinformation, but I'll find out. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for about 5 minutes. Anybody see the talented, the amazing Mr. No, Mr. Doubtfire? Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah, I'm calling about that movie. I went to see it. It was with my girlfriend, another couple, and I thought it was exceedingly average, if not boring.
Exceedingly average.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's some faggy overtones that you might get into, but nothing like.
I'm not into overtones. I like blatant, you know.
Well, you're not going to find it there. I just thought the movie was too long. You know what I mean? And but it didn't suck, but I just didn't think it was that good.
They didn't suck, then I don't want to see it.
I guess that guy Jude Law is pretty good looking. I don't know.
Who?
That actor in that movie, Jude Law, I think's his name.
The guy that played the husband?
Yeah, the guy opposite Matt Damon.
I never saw him. Well, what's wrong with Matt Damon? He's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He's
about a 5.5 on a scale of 30. He's
a little weird looking, I think.
Yeah, he's a little strange. You're right. Plus, he hangs out with that Ben Affleck too much.
Right. Well, hey, went to my first basketball game last night. Not that you really give a crap, but I thought the arena was pretty nice, man. Have you been down there yet?
No. Well, why would I go down there? What do they have that I want to see?
Oh, that's true.
They have a lot of people disguised as yellow empty seats, I hear, but other than that.
It was pretty empty last
night. I'm glad you got a chance to see him beat up on a girls' team. That's good. We're going to do the same thing in the other arena tonight.
Okay, that's one I haven't been to yet. I haven't seen a hockey game before, but anyway, I'll be watching it on TV, though.
All right.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're going to kick that Ranger ass tonight, boy. What a joke. That gigantic payroll, that overstuffed payroll, especially that Theo Ferry. Oh, last night, talk about a little actor, Theo Ferry. I'm sure he was doing something in the back seat of the car. He wasn't asleep. Acts like somebody smacked him in the head like this. In the meantime, Tampa Bay's like all the way to center ice. He's like behind his own net, or the other. He's somewhere lost. Theo Ferry, a big, little, tiny piece of crap. Does that make sense to you? A big, tiny? Yeah, that's right. He's small in size but big in crap ratio. Of course, we know a lot of little people like that. I wasn't talking about you. Now, don't take it personal.
No.
Like, what's his name? Martin Short.
Okay.
What kind of a name is that for a guy that's short?
Appropriate.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. What's the guy's name that writes, what was the, Randy Newman?
Mm-hmm.
The short people thing.
Right, he's short.
Exactly. And he's also got a complex. You got a complex, Randy, you're short. Ha ha ha, you're short. Oh, by the way, when's the Tom Green thing coming on with what's her name? Monica.
They already had it.
They already did it?
Yeah.
While I was gone?
Yeah.
No!
It was lame. It was a stunt to sell purses. A Monica line of handbags.
And he participated in this?
Yeah. It was incredibly sad and depressing.
I'm so sorry, Tom. You were really good once upon a time. You were kind of like Rick Riley. You were really okay. That was bad. Did I say Tom Green was like Rick Riley? Get the Lysol, please.
They both have beards.
20 before noon. Noon? It's only noon? Jesus Christ. Wow. Till 20 minutes ago, I would have thought this was a 10-minute show today. We're going to zip through this thing like greased lightning. And then I hit that first screwed-up phone, and that was the beginning of the end. Not that I want to start with that phone crap again. Oh, yeah, we got a news. Look at that. Look at that new, looks like the same other one to me. Same piece of crap. In fact, for all we know, it is the same piece of crap.
No, I watched him.
Oh, you watched him actually physically do it? And it's still a piece of crap. Still sucks. So the Matt Damon movie really blows, so I'm sure glad I'm not missing something good. 20 before noon at 560 QM. I think I already said that, didn't I?
Uh-huh. Baby, you melt my jockey shorts.
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits, and maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick, and then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch, and then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
14 till noon at 560 WQM. How about this little girl, this 14-year-old? She's not a little girl, 14-year-old Nova student. You see your father on the news this morning?
No.
In his pickup truck or whatever he was driving? Oh, well, she's okay. This should be her worst problem. She never stole a freight train or some stuff like that. Yeah, she's harmless. She's a good girl. She made a mistake. She didn't realize the severity of what she did.
What'd she do?
She threatened an email
that
to bomb
chick, yeah.
the school up. Their name was Vincent, by the way, the last name. It says in the newspapers, and of course the newspapers never get it right, that they were withholding her identity. They had her picture and the name and everything on the news this morning. What's wrong with you people at the newspapers? Can you get anything right?
No.
No, Jesus, God. At least you're consistent. And the threatening letter, a February 7th email sent by a 14-year-old girl to Nova Middle School, was full of errors. Maybe that's why she's pissed off. They're not giving her good education. You know what I say? I say fry her ass. Not that I'm all in favor of capital punishment so much, but in this case I'll make an exception. She wrote the letter on a form taken from an educational website. Just remember what I told you. The Internet is good and the Internet is evil. But on the scales of justice, that thing, the evil far outweighs the good at this point. Every nerd, every misfit, every lunatic, every dangerous person. In fact, our bald-headed Mike from sales down there that I saw outside yesterday, chain smoking, he told me, you're right. He said, I'm the one that's going to snap. That's what he said. He said, I'm the one that's going to snap, and you better not be in the building when I do something like that. And so I think I forgot something at home. This is the letter that she wrote, this 14-year-old young thing. I'm going to blow the school up on February 23rd, if not then, sooner or when you least expect it. Don't even bother trying to find me because I assure you won't, and don't bother shutting down the school because if you do, and there's no apostrophes I'll come earlier or later and blow up Nova Middle School / high school. I think it would be in your best interest to move out of the effing country if you think of shutting down the school with one T, and even if you do, I'll still find you. Granted, just watch me. This school is going down with Dr. Adkins in it, and that's not Dr. Bob Atkins, is it?
No.
Oh, maybe she didn't lose any weight on the Atkins diet. Oh, it's a different Dr. Atkins? Going down with the Dr. Atkins in it, and if he's not in the school when I blow it up, I'll just go to his effing house and have my own effing ways. I'll give you a hint who I am your worst mother effer enemy, and see you later at your graveyard. This school is going down with everyone in it. Well, nice talking to you, deadbeats. And the father says, she's a good girl, she made a mistake, she's harmless, she didn't realize the severity of what she did. And if you take a look at this is, I don't know what page, it's in the B section of the Herald this morning, the local section. Student held an email threat. If you look at the letter, this is on the inside page, and see the illiteracy, the grammar and the spelling and the punctuation and lack thereof. And she's a 14-year-old girl in middle school. There's something really, really wrong in this country. Something really stinks. You can smell the stench of cow manure hanging over this performance by this thing. Fry her ass, that's my suggestion, then she won't do it again. And the best part of the whole deal is that after they let her out of this, where she's being suspended and held and whatever they're doing, it's automatic. She gets her ass kicked out of school, which I say is a good idea. They'll let her back in the building. And the father's attitude, just like always, she didn't mean nothing bad, and she's a good girl, and this should be the worst thing she ever does, and yada, yada. I saw him there this morning 15 to 20 times at least, doing his best to minimize, hey, no big deal. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Maybe she's eligible for a voucher under Bush's school plan now.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Bush, did you
she's white.
Did you see any of the debate last night?
No, I did not. I was watching a lot of hockey games last night. I had no interest in watching that crap.
I know you don't want McCain, but I'm registered Republican, so I got to vote for one of the three characters come March.
Well, I certainly don't want any of those three. Any of those three Bible-thumping, right-wing, intolerant assholes, no.
Well, I'm going to pick McCain over the other three because Bush is paranoid. He still must be lingering from the effects of coke. You ask him anything about his past, and he's like,
his eyes start rolling around like a pinball machine.
Yeah,
I saw some of the excerpts this morning. They showed him screaming at each other and pointing, and they're not talking about any issues at all. All they're doing is talking about who's doing the dirtiest campaign and calling each other names. It's like a bunch of little children. And what this Schwarzer's doing there in the middle, who's got about 0.1% of the vote, what the hell's he doing in there?
They said he's an ambassador. What country is he ambassador to?
Uranus.
But yeah, at least McCain, we got a track record on him. So if it comes ever to McCain and Bradley or McCain and Gore, at least you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Bush, you just don't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
I agree with that. If I had to choose, which I would hate to have to make that choice, but if I had to choose between McCain and Bush, it would be no contest. I wouldn't vote for Bush if they held a gun to my head.
And plus, too, he's kicking in his own money. McCain's getting matching government funds, and Bush is just getting money from all over the place.
All of a sudden, you notice yesterday at the last moment, because he's in a panic that he's going to wind up losing South Carolina, which would be the beginning of the end for him, although North Carolina was really the beginning, but that would be like the last nail in his coffin. So now all of a sudden, what's Bush talking about? Campaign finance reform.
Yeah. And he's getting it from all sources. I'd rather have his dad back in office than him.
Yeah, well, at least his dad didn't lie too much.
Yeah, except for the taxes.
Well, have a great day.
You take care.
And at least he got that Saddam out of there, didn't he? Get him out?
No.
Oh. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Just remember, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers, the Illuminati. Just keep the... Yeah, that's right. Just like Ray Lewis said, man, the devil keeps making me do all these evil things. He keeps sticking his finger in my
rectum.
I just can't say no. He wheels it around a little bit, and his finger, too. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just remember we can fix all the problems in the schools if we just had school prayer.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, before I start talking about Rick and Suds and the Matt Damon movie, I went to one of your sponsors yesterday. I went down to Nick's.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Where the hell is Nick's, by the way? I don't mean where is it physically. I mean, where the hell is it? Is it on the log here? What? Oh, there they are. Okay.
Oh,
my
God.
Panicky. You know, I go away for a few days. You never know with the sales department what's going to happen. But
I got a couple of Maduros, the long ones. I guess they're the Immensos.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they taste better than cigars that cost 3 or 4 times the amount of what I paid.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best.
Oh, the Immenso.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Well, hey, I'm a size queen. I like something big.
Talk about big.
I just have never seen anything that vivid and that massive.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm
going to start playing a lot of Rick and Suds drop-ins on here as a subliminal, so maybe we can get them back up to a 0.3. I feel bad for them.
I feel sorry for them. I listen to them almost every day. I had a diarrhea a ways back, and I did.
You had a diarrhea a ways back?
Yes, I had the Arbitron. I filled them in. You know, and it's a shame because I love Rick and Suds. It's sad listening to them and hearing 20 minutes without a call, and then having them banter back and forth between the news guy and the traffic lady.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I remember what it was like when it was you and Mike and Rick and then Randy at night or Hank at night. And
yeah.
Exactly. And it was so fun then. But listening to Rick, and the only thing is that also one.
But what are you saying? Does he sound depressed and psychotic because they're not getting any response and they know they have no audience and they're just waiting for the hammer to fall? Is that it?
Exactly.
Well, the hammer. I don't mean that hammer.
But the one thing about being in the morning, the one good thing about being in the morning, we don't have to hear Rick's stock market reports.
See, I think that was the beginning of the end.
But
I don't want to tell Rick what to talk about. The real beginning was the computer talk, and then the real nail in the coffin was, fair value is down 2.5, and I'm sorry, but the idea of Rick Riley as a stock market expert to me is I just can't deal with it.
Exactly, but I love Rick. I listen to him.
Are his kids still alive? I hope, because I know he's been doing everything to try to get them killed. You know, with those.
I think they're still alive. I don't know how much longer Rick's going to be alive with everything, with the ratings and everything before he goes. Well,
I mean, does he talk about this at all? Do they mention on the air the fact that they can't find an audience, or they just?
Sometimes, just that they will sit there and you will hear, them talking back and forth or outbound, sometimes outbound calls. But it's sad because I remember. It's not Rick and Suds' fault. A lot of it is not. You got to blame the station for lack of promotion.
Damn it.
And the station is not behind them, and
Damn
the
it.
company is not behind them.
Damn
and
it.
They've destroyed Rick and Suds.
Damn it.
And also I liked Adam. Adam was cool. So and also they got the.
Yeah, I think that when Adam left, I think that was. Damn it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it
was like jumping off the Titanic. It was a no-brainer. You
don't mention Titanic. I'm going to talk to you about the new.
Well, do it fast, okay? Because you're rambling. I got to do a break here. We got to get the spots on. That's what I come in for. Get the spots on, Neil. Get the spots on. God damn it! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A friend of mine saw the talented Mr. Ripley.
Was he also
Matt Damon looked good.
Yeah.
But also, this is the same guy that said Leonardo DiCaprio looked cute.
Oh Jesus!
I'm sorry. I like real look. I like
real men.
Look like real men.
Real men, like Donny Osmond, right?
Anyway.
So was the movie worth seeing or not?
He said it was good. It was a little bit ponderous. He says, Matt Damon made nice eye candy.
Yeah, okay. So in other words, I'll wait till it comes on TV.
Exactly. Wait till it comes out on TV.
Thanks
It's almost as bad as that stupid.
Say hi to Rick.
Okay, we'll see you at the Copa.
I doubt it. 4 minutes till noon at 560. He said, Vida la pinga, la copa, something like that. 4 minutes till 12 at 560 WQAM.
The Neil Rogers Show. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Tonight on the History Channel, Adolf Hitler was a maniacal dictator who started World War II and became the most hated name in the world. But what about all those unfortunates who shared his last name? What happened to them? All this week, the History Channel presents The Forgotten Hitler.
Before the war, I was doing well. Then this Adolf comes along, and poof, no one wants to know from Rabbi Shlomo Hitler.
The Forgotten Hitlers on the History Channel shows you how even the most distant relative can screw up your life.
My name is Nancy Hitler. I was the owner of the biggest daycare center in America. Well, we were about to begin franchising our business when the war came along. Well, all of a sudden, no one wanted to send their kids to Little Hitler's daycare.
Join us all this week as once again we find a way to make a new program out of the same 200 feet of newsreel film. The Forgotten Hitlers, only on the History Channel.
So what would you rather have your name be, Herman Hitler or Frederick U. Dicker? There's our poll question for the day. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. How about American Beauty? Anybody see that?
No.
I mean, it's nominated for 75,000 awards. It must be something the Academy likes a lot. See, that's the problem with the whole thing with the Oscars. It's what they like. And they never like The Exorcist they didn't like because, first of all, it was violent, and secondly, it was anti-Catholic, and it was just not the kind of thing that they liked. Even The Godfather they had problems with because it's not their kind of movie. They like Walt Disney movies. That's what they like. They didn't like Priest too much. Wasn't that a Disney movie?
Uh-huh.
That one they didn't like. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how are you?
Great.
How about that tiger?
Yeah.
Ooga booga.
Uh-huh.
Ooga booga?
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. How sad. How really tragic that there are people out there like that. And that's why Ranieri got canned. That was the last guy he had left. Fort Lauderdale, hello. Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
You want to talk to a Flyers fan, huh?
I beg your pardon?
A Flyer fan?
What about it?
You said you're looking for the Philadelphia Flyer fan. You called.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought I heard you say you're looking for the Flyers.
I mean, I'll talk to you, but I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
Hey, well, you're on vacation. Did you see the Toronto game?
No.
You didn't?
No, when you're in Amsterdam, they generally aren't showing too many North American hockey games.
Okay. But, yeah, we're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Primo's got a broken rib. And,
yeah, and they knocked one in their own net last night.
Who did?
The Flyers.
They did?
You didn't see it?
No, they're putrid.
But you didn't see the game.
I just got home, so I didn't see
You
the
just
highlights.
got home when?
Who they play last night?
Woo! Welcome to WTMI Junior. AM classical music. It's a little scratchy on AM, but it's old music anyway, so who cares? Oh, my God. Who do you like better, Ludwig van from the music or from Peanuts? Oh, don't start talking about Charles Schultz now. He's dead. Let's have several tributes to Charles Schultz. What do you say?
No.
I mean, it's great. Everybody likes Peanuts. Even if you don't read the comics, you like Peanuts, right? Although I do like cashews better. Unsalted, of course. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yeah, the hockey. You can't complain about the hockey knowledge in South Florida because there isn't any. Let's give away some free tickets for the Panther-Ranger game tonight. What do you say?
Oh!
Let's give away 2 or 3 dozen. Let's get some women on the line here. Give away some of those tickets for the Panther-Ranger game tonight so we can get ourselves a full house. 3,500 unsold seats. Even with all these obnoxious Ranger fans we got down here with their high-payrolled, mediocre team, with that Theo Ferry. Man, is he, talk about overrated. Talk about a mythical legend. He's like the Rascal House of hockey. Strictly a state of mind. And believe me, he knew what was going on in the back seat. That's what Graham James said. That's what he told Don Cherry. Here's Jupiter. Hello. Jupiter.
Jupiter?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you, Neil?
Okay.
I was watching this Westminster dog show.
I saw a little bit of that. Isn't that pathetic? Yeah.
It's on USA right now, and my folks used to have a miniature. Actually, they had 2 miniature pincers like you have.
Yeah.
Psychotic. They're
Yeah.
very neat dogs.
But isn't it great that they fit so perfectly in most microwaves, in the standard size microwave?
Well, this is before microwaves, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were both really great dogs. They were
It's a good way to calm them down. Right there in the microwave for about 30 seconds on slow cook.
Yes, sir.
So they actually have min pins in the Westminster Dog Show this year?
I haven't seen them yet, but normally they do, yes.
They do?
Uh-huh. I don't even know what class they're in, but as a rule they have them.
Because they're terriers.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not really. Everybody asks me, what relationship is it to a Doberman? And I say none. And they give you a look like, they're terriers.
Exactly.
They're crazy. Let me tell you right now, anybody that wants to go out and get your first dog, as long as you got a big house or apartment and a little bit of a yard, get a golden retriever. They're the greatest dogs in the world. I don't care. Anybody can argue with me all they want. There is no dog better than a golden retriever. They're better than most people you'll ever meet.
I think you're pretty correct there.
I am.
I have beagles myself, and they're just a little hyper.
Yeah, they're okay.
They got to run. I've got a couple acres up in Jupiter here.
Yeah.
They got to be out there. Otherwise, their day doesn't start.
Mm-hmm.
And at any rate, my main reason for calling was
yes, sir.
the Rick and Suds thing.
Right.
And I've listened to you for
100 years.
No. Since I'm a Dade County fireman, and I've worked in the North Miami station, been there for 18 years at least, and been listening to you that whole time.
Wow.
From INZ and IOD and Rick and Suds, you, and then Phil. Without a doubt.
Right.
All-time best lineup ever.
That's correct. We had a great thing going there. And again, Bob Neal up there in Atlanta, the people at Cox Broadcasting, there's a special place in hell for you people.
I've got a better place where I can at least look at him and enjoy his face with some really nasty stuff on his face.
Good.
He must be a flamer because what a jerk to ruin a lineup like you folks were.
They didn't know how to make any money with us, and then Paxson takes it over, which they were totally inept. And Paxson was getting, just on my show alone, they were getting like $100 more a spot, and amazingly, all of a sudden they made all this money on it.
Yeah,
so it just goes to show you that they were bad business people is what Cox's problem, and they were too obsessed with the stupid dolphin crap, just like they are here on this station. They're too obsessed with the stuff that's losing them money, and the stuff that's making them money they don't pay any attention to.
You are absolutely correct.
Yes, I am.
And it's a real shame.
Yeah.
Love your show, Neil.
Thanks a lot, pal.
George is a great guy. I love talking to him, and he has a good show. I enjoy it. When you're gone, I listen to that. I love the tapes, however. George is, I know he's probably got a smile on his face, but he is really...
No, actually, he's doing something, turning around the other way, so I'm looking at his ass now. So have a great day, pal.
Okay, buddy.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he said he's got a pretty good-looking
rectum,
but whatever you like, pal. 5670560. Just was a strange coincidence, okay? Maybe he was just mooning us at that moment. It was a little bit of a response here. Yeah, it's too bad about those min pins. They're cute little dogs, but don't get one. That's my best advice. It's just like that stock. I don't want to mention which one. Don't buy it, and don't get a min pin. What? What do you like? I didn't mention any name of any stock. I just said that stock. Don't buy it. Don't get sucked into it. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a fool. In fact, I talked to somebody yesterday who's in that business, and they agreed with me. They said, oh, boy. I can't tell you which one it is, though. 9 minutes past noon at 560. All I'll tell you is that George and I, did we buy it?
No.
No, and are we proud of it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The sports leader. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
I looked up Heine's.
Let's do the shake. Let's get it, Reno shake.
All right.
Wave your hands up and down.
Okay.
And shake them all around. Now try to move your legs. The Janet Reno shake. Now shake them to the left. Shake them to the right. To the Janet Reno shake, shake. With all of your might, oh, there. Let's do the Janet Reno shake. Shake your hands and make a roll. Woo! The Janet Reno shake. Woo! The Janet Reno shake.
12:15 at 560 WQM. I want to apologize profusely to everybody, including myself. That guy was talking about the dogs, the Westminster Dog Show, which is very enjoyable only because you laugh at the people. Nobody pays any attention to the dogs. It's the people acting like assholes and prancing around with a little, oh, God, it's unbelievable.
Why do they look at the dog's butt?
Maybe they're into it.
Rectum.
But anyway... No, listen, coming from a culture where they take 6-year-old boys' penis out of their jeans and to check and see if it's grown in the last 4 or 5 hours, that's your people.
No,
what do you mean it's not your culture?
And your people wear funny hats.
Some.
The Hasidim.
Some. That's not
that's
my
your
people.
Culture.
No,
Sure
those are barbarians. Those are lunatics. That's
and they
Spencer.
wear towels on their heads.
Spencer.
And they ride camels.
Yeah. So anyway, what was I just apologizing for? Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that show. How did I get sucked into that? See, I'm really, in spite of this image of being a prick, I'm too nice of a guy. I'm too easy. Otherwise, I could have a 40 share. I could do a really good show every day instead of getting sucked into ruining the show someday because of a bunch of selfish idiots out there. Case in point, what I'm apologizing for, when I got that doggy book, that was probably even worse than the days when I was doing those awful guests. Hello, doctor. Even worse than that. Where's the German Shepherd on the list? Where's the Schnauzer? Yeah, I got a Schnauzer on your rectum. That's where the Schnauzer is, okay, jackass? How did I get sucked into that? And, of course, flooded with calls. That's the kind of thing they can talk about. You know, I'm getting a feeling about this line 7 now, you know? I don't want to start sounding, no, maybe it's okay. What? You're nodding your head, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure it's okay? Or is that just, well, I don't know, because sometimes I wonder if that's feedback that's starting up.
It's just feedback.
You sure? Are you positive?
Board's working.
Okay, just checking on that because that's the only one it seems to be at the moment, having a little bit of indecisive nature. Here's a mobile in Key Largo. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to call you. Today's the happiest day of my life.
Yes?
I
You
got
must be
Direct
leaving.
TV. What's that?
You got DirecTV, huh?
Yes, sir. I got my satellite dish. I got it installed last night. And better yet, I'm going to get to go tell my cable company where they can stick it.
All right.
I got my cable bill on Valentine's Day. That's some kind of Valentine's Day present, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you're going to send him a better one.
Yes, I am. Well, I just wanted to tell you another thing. I'm going to Las Vegas come March 1st. 2 weeks from today, I'll be out of here.
All right.
All right.
Have a great time, pal.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
This guy got DirecTV. He got his dish.
Oh!
Here's a guy with a brain. He went and got a dish, and he's just telling the cable company to F off. By the way, speaking of Vegas, Hank yesterday poked his head in for a couple of minutes. I asked him about the National Airlines thing, and he did come back. When he was out there in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, he did come back on National, and he said it was great. He said, we love Las Vegas National Airlines. We love them profusely. In fact, that's from all of us here at QAM, especially me and Hank. Not that we're sucking around for free trips or anything, are we?
Uh-huh.
We are? Sure, why not? And we even love our good buddy Dick. I think I probably love Dick a little more than Hank does, but nevertheless. What's the guy's name? I got it here believe me, I got several messages from that guy right here in my, Dick, they must have dogs named after him. His name is Shimizu. Don't they have a Shimizu dog? He's the big shot, the head honcho with Las Vegas National Airlines. That fly non-stop direct. I got the whole schedule there, but at any rate, Hank said it was very enjoyable, and first class was sensational, and it was big and roomy and spacious and great. And sure as hell beat America Worst, by the way. I continue hearing nothing but bad things about America Worst Airlines. I meet more people that bump into me in the airports intentionally, and then after they pick me up, they say, by the way, you were right, America Worst blows. We had a real bad experience. Even though they've gone to the Airbus now, which is a better plane than what they were using before, nonetheless, they got all kinds of problems. And while I was on vacation, one of the flights, I guess, coming back, I was reading in USA Today, one of those nice colorful lists that they've got about the customer complaints and who's the best and who's the worst. And who was the worst in each category? You guessed it, living up to their name, American Worst. So I'll pass on America Worst, thank you, and I'll stick with the National, because Hank says it's pretty good. And the price was right, I'm sure. Here's Miami. Hello.
All right, here we go. Here we go, boys and girls of America. Here's one of those lines that really is doing it big time. I like it when we get one like this. You can really make...
Thank you. Make hay while the sun shines. So, see, they can continue replacing instruments in here from now until the end of time. The fact is that there's something screwed up with this phone system, and the fact is that they're paying somebody's money, hard-earned money, which they're not too happy about paying it because they don't like paying their bills in this company, but they're paying hard-earned money to Bell South, and they still won't demand a goddamn service. Now, that shows you what a bunch of crap operators these people are here. It's like an FP&L. Would you pay your monthly electric bill if they had the electric off 90% of the time?
No.
I don't think so. You'd probably go out and buy a bunch of candles and flashlights and then sue their ass. And the same thing with this phone company. If it was me, I'd have a lawsuit by the end of the day against goddamn Bell South for the kind of crap service that we got on these lines here. And then Bluff says, oh, well, the supervisor was just here last week and he said it was okay. Is it okay?
No.
No, it is not okay. Let me say it again. Is it
okay?
No, it is not. A piece of Schmidt. 5670560. Let's see if that's still on there like that, because that would be, no, see, it's okay now. Oh, no, it's not. Let's hear the big hum job on there.
Buzzing.
Oh, it's buzzing. Here's the mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
Great.
Good. I almost blew my ear off when you connected there. Sorry.
Sorry.
I want to talk about the Panthers. I must be the only hockey fan down here that's desperate for hockey.
Yeah, we had a Flyer fan call in before. Did you hear that bozo? Who,
No, I didn't.
Not only did he not know that they stuck a puck in their own net last night, but they didn't know that they were playing New Jersey in one of the big games of the year, which they got beat 4-2, by the way. But this guy, that's the kind of hockey fans we got down here. He didn't even know who his team was playing last night.
Yeah, Bergeur scored the game-winning goal.
He got credit for it, right.
Yeah, well, yeah, just because he blocked it.
Right.
But anyway, I wanted to ask you, how come the Panthers are all hot and bothered about this guy from the Canadian, Malikov, or whatever that guy's name is?
Yeah.
Why are the Panthers
No,
all...
it wasn't Malikov. It was Ulanov that they were. I have no idea. I mean, Peter Worrell, I'm so sick and tired of this crap with him and all the fights and all the other garbage.
He can't skate.
He can't play. And in the meantime, they got their ass kicked 4-1. It's just like the last time that they got their ass kicked by the Flyers, and they come back whining and whimpering about Lindros is so dirty and this and that. You know something? If you're going to play with the big boys, like Bo Camper said, you better tighten up your jockstrap and go out there and kick some ass.
Well, why'd they play the Canadians a week ago and they kicked their ass and then
We didn't kick their ass. It was a pretty marginal game. I mean, it was 3-1. It's hardly an ass kicking. And if it weren't for the fact that Vernon played great, they wouldn't have won that game either.
Well, by Panthers standards, it's an ass kicking because they don't score more than 3-4 goals anyway.
Yeah.
But even with Pavel, but I couldn't believe the game the other night. Did you see who what's his face put on the line with Bure? Mellanby?
Yeah.
Oh, is he the anchor?
Mellanby's played with a lot with him this year. I don't mind when Mellanby's out there, but when he's got Worrell out there in the line with Bure, I start screaming at the set. All right, listen, we'll be all right, pal. We'll kick some ass tonight.
Well, what about the playoffs? What do you think our chances are in the playoffs?
Whoever gets hot, it's way too far to tell. Whoever gets hot at the right time, that's the team to be. That's dangerous in the playoffs.
All right, keep up the good hockey talk. There are some hockey.
Have a great day. A lot of hockey talk, right? No hockey talk. They don't know from it, okay? They don't care. Don't you understand that? We're not having no hockey talk, are we? No. The best was that so-called Flyers fan before. Oh, well, I didn't get home, and who did they play last night? They played the top team in the league, the New Jersey Devils there in the Meadowlands, and they got their asses kicked 4-2, sir, and they stuck one in their own net. Nice going. No matter how many goons they put on that team, no matter how many Gino Ojics they find, no matter how many Craig Berubis they find, they're still going to wind up getting their ass kicked when the push comes to shove, when they start shoving it. And by the way, you notice you don't see the geezer no more? Don't see him, do you? No. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Good afternoon, sir.
How you doing, bud?
To all the ships at sea.
Did you say that all the schmitz at sea?
All the schmutz at sea.
I've got 3 little letters for American Pie, the movie.
Yeah. American Pie?
Or American
Beauty.
Yeah, American Beauty.
Yeah.
HBO.
Okay.
It was terrible.
Really?
Oh, God. At the end of the movie, my wife and I looked at each other, scratched our pupik, and said, what the hell was that all about? You know, I mean, it's like you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and at the end of the movie, it's like nothing.
But it says here, knockout performances by Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening as battling spouses were among the 8 nominations for Best Film Contender American Beauty. In other words, the people out there in Hollywood, these plastic jackasses, who I think are on the take, they've already made up their mind that this is the one that fits the mold of what they like to heap all the awards to, so you can be sure they're going to get all the awards.
It's terrible. And in closing, the Flyers fan, you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah. Amen.
See ya.
Okay. Who did they play last night? Did they play? Well, yeah, part of the game, I guess. They got their ass kicked, okay, sir? That was their big chance. That was their big showdown. That was the moment to shine, and they stunk the joint out. They got Schmidt on. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. And, of course, on the West Coast. Are we on the air in Fort Myers?
Uh-huh.
Boy, they're pretty silent. Maybe they're pissed off because we got the delay on. They don't hear all those nice words anymore. 877-785-6345. Yeah, that probably would piss me off, too, if I turned into a show every day so I could hear and, and then all of a sudden I stopped hearing that. I'd say, what happened to that show? It's just not like what it used to be anymore. That's the only reason we ever had anybody listening in Fort Myers in the first place, so they could hear those words. Because generally speaking, in Lee County, they're not allowed to say those words anyway, are they? Are they allowed? No. They're not allowed to talk back, even to their sheep. And look at that. Right as soon as you ask, here's a call in Fort Myers. Hello. Fort Myers.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you, I'm a big hockey fan from a long ways back. I just got DirecTV, and I got the hockey package.
All right. Now you're talking. Now you got it.
It's fantastic, but I got to say one thing.
Yes.
I have found that I could be watching an exciting game,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter who it is,
Yeah.
but the commentator can put me to sleep.
Right.
The one thing that I have noticed, and I'm not a Buffalo Sabres fan, but that Rick Jenneret,
He's great.
he is got to be the best.
No.
Well, who is?
Joe-
That is my question to you.
Joe Bowen.
Who can you recommend?
Joe Bowen of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
The greatest hockey announcer in history, and Rick Jenneret is the number 2.
Okay. Is there anybody else?
Well, I mean, right after that, what more do you need?
Well,
Mike Lang. I don't want to leave Mike out because he's going to be here Saturday. He'd be upset.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That Jenneret, and I also found out that I guess he does the radio as well as the color.
simulcast. They say that he's on radio and TV. Him and what's his name?
And
What
it
is his
could
name,
be
the
a
color
boring
guy?
ass game, but he still makes it exciting.
What's the color guy's name? Jimmy Lorenz. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the announcers are really what
That's
makes
right.
it direct
They're
TV.
exactly. I'm telling you, the great announcers make the game exciting, and you could have the most exciting game in the world. And if the announcer is boring, people don't even realize how exciting it is.
I fall asleep when I watch a Boston Bruins game.
There you go.
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
And then I hate it because
I say bring back Fred Cusick. He's only 100 years old. Bring him back alive, baby.
He's probably better than the rest.
Okay.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Ed Kaplan knows the scores. Starting at 10 till the last game ends. Weeknights only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Estuvo muy bien aquí.
Hello, my little Rosanna. I'm Rosanna Donna Lakeman, and I'm here to stay. Based only on my Hispanic sounding name, I'll be in office for life, and oh, it's all to do. The foolish constituents I pander to. You're from a tiny little island that's maybe 20 feet wide. No one else cares why you're whining outside the Dade County line. I'm as Cuban as can be when it's expedient for me to be Hispanic, promoting community panic for the media camera. And with professionally, look how I wear it on my sleeve like I'm your savior for your meaningless causes and your aberrant behavior.
29 seconds left. Breakaway pass to Corral. Looks in front. Can't find it. Schaefer. Checked by Corral. Trying to get to the bench. Olin. Squeezed to the board. Pass ahead for Thomas. 9 seconds. Duffy Thomas through. Steve Thomas with his career-leading 11th overtime goal, and the Leafs win with 5 seconds left.
12:33 at 560 WQM. Big game tonight. Panthers and the Rangers. Going to be there?
No.
George will be there. Oh, by the way, we got a problem on Monday. You know, I don't want to say that the Panther organization sometimes acts a little dumb. They scheduled a game next Monday at 3 in the afternoon, the Ottawa game, which is a big game, by the way. Ottawa, pretty red hot, only 4 points behind the Leafs in that conference. Toronto better win someday soon, like tonight. But at any rate, what is that? What day is it? President's Day or Lincoln's birthday or Martin Luther King Jr.?
Washington's birthday.
Washington's birthday. Isn't it President's Day? Well, whatever the hell day it is, it's some yokel holiday, okay? And so they decided, well, we'll have an afternoon game at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Do you have any idea how I'm going to have to race out of here, rush home, feed the dogs, take a leak, and then race over to the Mac Arena to get there in time for opening face-off? Is there a chance I'm going to make it?
No.
No. That means I may have to leave a little early on Monday. Well, of course, we'll be carrying the game, and Hank's not coming in for a half hour, is he? I guess we'll have Geldy on game day. Maybe Geldy can start his pregame like 1:45 or something. Give me a little head start. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you have any idea? Is there going to be anybody there?
No.
At least I won't have to worry about finding the right seat. I can pick any seat, even my own.
Rectum.
Yeah. Here's a Lady Mobile in Delray Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Great.
What are you doing today?
Sounds like a radio show.
What? It's a good one today. I love it.
Yeah.
Panthers all the way.
Uh-huh.
You wanted a girl to call for the tickets. I called.
You what?
You wanted a girl to call up on the phone, talk about the Ranger game. I'm calling.
You're calling for what?
You said you wanted to give away tickets. No?
What is it?
Didn't you say that?
Did I say what?
Say you'd give away tickets if a
No.
female called.
No. No. You must be listening to Rick and Suds.
Ah.
Yeah.
It was you.
I think Rick and Suds got those tickets. See you at the game.
What's that?
I said, get out of here. See, why is it as soon, you know something? I don't want to sound like Mr. Hotshot here, but as soon as I saw that there was a lady, it was a lady mobile as it happened. But as soon as I looked on the screen and saw that my next caller was going to put my finger on a lady mobile, I said to myself, I bet you it's some bitch calling for hockey tickets. Because I joked about that before. Do I have any to give away?
No.
And if I did, would I give them away anyway?
No.
No. We're not giving crap away, lady. What is it about the women in this frickin' town who have never anything to say to me, good, bad, or indifferent? Most of them hate me like poison, by the way, and that's okay because they got no sense of humor and they're uptight and a bunch of humorless bitches, about 75% of them. But boy, all I got to do is whisper. If I farted just the right, that must be he's giving the hockey tickets away flavor that he just farted. We just smelled it through the speaker. Better get on the phone and get some free hockey tickets. And then all of a sudden, these people that have no time, they go, we listen every day. We just don't have the time to call you. But they got all the time in the world. Whether than a mobile, a stationary, if they're underground in a nuclear submarine, if they're in goddamn outer space on a space shuttle, if they hear even a hint that I got free anything, they want it. Oh, God, lady, you're just unbelievable. Just like the broad that called yesterday.
I wanted it.
Yeah. Here's the mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Slap Cheese? Hey, this is Broad Street Billy.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, a lot of assholes from Philadelphia today, by the way.
God, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous. Listen, National Airlines, wonderful.
Is it? You were on it, huh?
Just came back on the 11th.
All right.
And I tell you what, the staff could not be better. Anybody who flies in coach is going to enjoy those 3 seats all to themselves because it's an empty plane all the way there, all the way back.
Really? Because nobody knows about it yet, huh?
Exactly. And if you want to upgrade to first class, they'll do it right at the gate for $150.
Really?
So it's absolutely a wonderful experience.
Outstanding.
Going back again on the 5th.
Beauty. Okay, I was just there not too long ago at the end of January, but I think I may have to go back again soon just to check the airline out.
Oh, it's great.
Okay,
I love
thanks.
it. Love you.
National Airline, Las Vegas National Airline. We hear nothing but good things about them, and boy, I'm going to tell you.
Hey, stupid!
Hank and I love National Airlines. We're obsessed with it. Ready to leave this afternoon, as a matter of fact. No, I don't want to. Like I said, right after the hockey game sounds good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I'll go to Vegas after the show. After I meet with my money guy, I'll just go to Vegas tonight. I don't know what time is their flight. Take a couple of days off because I've been back 2 days in a row here now. It's too much for me. Let's see. 10:50 p.m. That's perfect. Gets there 6:30 in the morning. Oh no, that's coming back. 9, even better. 9:40 p.m. gets to Vegas at 11:50 in the p.m. That's the nighttime flight. That would be great. And then I could give away my hockey tickets for tonight because I can go to Vegas and then get on a plane at tomorrow night. Just take a day off. What do you think?
No.
What do you say, Duff?
No.
21 before 1, he'll be great at KISS. You know, he'll be great with that country. And he does, by the way, have a pickup truck. Would you have ever believed he'd be the kind of guy that would have a pickup truck?
No.
What about a Doberman?
A Doberman what?
Pinch.
Rectum.
Heinies. No, I just said Tiny. How you doing, Tiny? 21 before 1 at 560 WQM.
It's just these guys nipping Suds and whatever the heck it is, and the people that call in, they're just like them, like that they're on the, the weeds, and they're high, and I mean, it's terrible. For years that I've been listening to 610, and this here.
And now,
Dr. Jeremy Burnham with a dramatic reading of No Scrubs by TLC. Dr. Burnham?
A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly, also known as a busta, always talking about what he wants, and just sits on his broke ass. So no, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And no, I don't want to meet you nowhere. No, I don't want none of your time. And no, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holla at me. No scrub. No scrub. No, no. No scrub. No, 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 no. No scrub. No, no. No.
12:45 at 560 WTM. Guess what song is gigantic, huge? Song sucks, by the way. Mariah Carey and Joe and 98 Degrees. What? The only reason it's big is because 98 Degrees is me. She can't sing for Schmidt. And that Joe Mama guy. You notice how they all stand very far away from her? Because they're suspicious about, even though she don't look all that bad, but that one large breast she has in the middle of her chest.
I can understand 98 Degrees staying far away from her.
Oh yeah, right, faggots. See, everybody that you don't like, they're faggots. Every musical group you don't like, they're
Do you
faggots.
like any that aren't?
Aerosmith, are they faggots?
I don't know. Let's ask Stevie.
I don't think so. Let's ask his daughter. 5670560. Yeah, you'd like to ask his daughter. Yeah. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. How about the Guess Who? Are they fags? I don't think so.
No. They're Canadian.
No. Oh, that's right. They're Canadian, so they must be. Here's a call from Albany. Hello. Albany.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Very good.
Listen to you every day on the internet.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever hear of Andrew M. Greeley, the Roman Catholic priest?
Sure.
He had an article in Sunday's paper. Can I read just a little bit of it?
Just a little tiny bit.
Okay. It
That's
says
enough.
the Kansas City Star has announced that 4 times as many Roman Catholic priests have died of AIDS.
No, but that's an old story. We covered that like
did
2
you?
weeks ago, yeah.
Oh, well, we just got it in our Sunday paper.
Well, Albany's a little bit behind, as you know.
Yeah, I
It
know.
has to go through Troy and then through Schenectady and Depew and Fredonia.
Yeah.
Dunkirk.
Did you see where he said there have been gay priests, gay bishops, gay popes, and probably even gay saints?
There's no fact in the church.
Oh, boy. As usual, he's way out of line, you know?
Hey, and talking about that priest, we're 10 miles from that Rotterdam priest. You know he was under 3 years of counseling,
Yeah.
and he just went to Bishop Hubbard and said it's not working.
You'd be pleased to know that he looks lovely with that wig and the dress on. Man, he looks beautiful. They got
We've
a picture
seen him.
in the New York Post. He's a real fashion plate.
We've seen him on the news up here.
Good old Denise.
Hey, one shameless request.
Yes, sir.
Give me a yaman.
Yaman. There you go, pal.
Thank you.
No extra charge. Have a great day.
All right.
Okay, and shovel it out. They're shoveling it out in Albany, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
And the snow, too. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. So, Neil, when you were in Amsterdam, you smoke any good Schmidt or what, huh? I mean, what were you doing over there? Do you eat some French fries with, like, mustard or mayonnaise? Do you, like, slather it on there? And how about the mayonnaise? What? Vlaamse frites, baby, right there in the damn rack. Did I eat any?
No.
No. Those things will kill you. Fried food, deep fried food. Listen to your Uncle Neil when he tells you, fried foods will kill you. They'll put you in a box. Fast. Real fast. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami, buenos dias.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to call and talk about the Oscars, man. American Beauty is a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it was too complicated for those people, maybe they should have stayed home or gone to another car race or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It deserved every award it got, and I think maybe you should run out and see it. They re-released it in that stupid Bruce Willis movie, but you should definitely run out and try and catch American Beauty. It should be re-released this week.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, that's the one with the kid who sees the dead people. That got nominated also for Best Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll pass on that.
They're re-releasing all the movies. You should go catch them, man.
What is it called?
It's called The Sixth Sense.
Oh, the Sixth Sense, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right, man.
I'll run right out right now, as a matter of fact.
Talk to you later.
Thanks. See, he says it's great. He says American Beauty is sensational. The other guy was going bleh, like that. It goes to show you different strokes.
Everyone I
different
said
folks.
said it was great.
Everybody said, so there was the guy before that.
And of course that was Gary that called and said that.
Gary the Sign Man? Why does he call this show? Why does he call this show? I mean, we like him a lot, but he's just not a caller. I've tried to explain that to him. We like him. We appreciate the nice things he's done for us. It's not personal. It's business, and he's bad for business. His calls are terrible, awful, grotesque. Gary, you're a great guy. You're just not cut out to be a caller on this show. Maybe Rick and Dud, okay, but not on this show. You know what I'm saying, Gary?
No.
Right. Now you're starting to catch on. Say it after me.
No.
No. No more calls.
No.
Stop, Gary. Well, I noticed that one eyebrow went up to the middle of your forehead when it was on it, and I recognized the voice as being chronic, but I didn't realize that it was Gary the Sign Man. Because if I would have known that it was Gary the Sign Man, I probably would have said, it must be a great movie. I'm going to rush out like the last guy just said and go see American Beauty. It must be sensational. I mean, Gary the Sign Man's a good guy, but a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? You followed a little slow. So like this last guy may have had him pegged pretty well. Probably a little bit too complicated for Gary the Sign Man. Just stick to USA Today and those nice color pictures they got in there and those charts and graphs, Gary. You'll be okay. And have somebody read it to you. You'll be just fine. No, seriously, he's the only sign man that I know that after he finishes the sign, his assistant has to read to him what's on the sign. And he must be, it's either he's lucky or he's very good, but he always gets it spelt right. You know? You're okay, Gary, but just say it again.
No.
That's it.
No.
Come on, in stereo.
No.
No more calls.
No.
Attaboy, Gary. Now you're catching on. Just stay the hell away. 5670560. What about that little girl? Nobody has any comments about that 14-year-old girl. This is a young bitch that threatens to blow up the school, and Daddy says she's a good girl. I mean, what? His comments are unacceptable. It's one thing to support your kids, but this was a grotesque, horrendous, unacceptable act, and an illiterate piece of turd that is unacceptable. And he's like trying to minimize and sweep it away like, oh, don't worry about her. She'll be all right. Yeah.
Just remember, he raised her.
That's what Ted Bundy's parents probably said, too, you know, before they threw him in a trash can. Yeah, it really, it bugs me. All these minorities, on death row, these poor, dark people like Ted Bundy. Oh, I'm sorry. Every time something goes on in America, it's always because of racism, right? And there is a lot of racism, I know, from personal experience. Here's a mobile in Deerfield Beach. Hello.
Yes. Neil there?
Speaking.
Yeah, my name's Big Al, first-time caller, long-time fan. And the caller in front of me stole a little bit of my thunder. I also want to...
Your name is Big Al?
Big Al.
What does that mean? Like Al Goldstein?
Well, yeah, I'm big in around the waistline, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And that's about the only place, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we don't do names on this show, but that's okay.
All right. Well, just so you know.
We'll just pretend we didn't hear that.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm also defending American Beauty.
Yeah.
I think it's an excellent movie. It was perfectly cast. The roles were very well acted. There's so many themes and angles to it. I too recommend you go out and see it. There's probably an angle you would find interesting. There's a homophobe portrayed in the movie.
It's interesting the way that people describe my attitudes about the movie. So in other words, if there's some fag angle in it, whether it's the Matt Damon movie or this one, then I would enjoy it. Is that it? That in other words, gay people only enjoy movies where there's a gay angle to it. Is that it?
Well, no, but you might find it interesting. There's other themes that you might find interesting, too. That one you might find particularly interesting.
I see. Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Okay, Big Al.
Thank you.
Thanks. Start getting very defensive there, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just don't understand that. I think the problem being that most straight people, for example, when they go to a movie, does there have to be a straight angle in the plot?
Oh, yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Everybody that said that they liked the movie was straight as a board that said that they liked American Beauty.
What about Gary the Sign Man?
Oh.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, out of town line. Fort Myers is open. Have they got any opinions on the movie?
No.
I don't think they've shown Gone with the Wind over there yet in Fort Myers, have they? No. Hey, they'll get around to it. Dr. Jika and Mr. Hyde is going to be big over there. Yeah, that's big as the Sun Sentinel. Dr. Jika and Dave Hyde. Here's Miami Springs. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
This is Mike, the small unemployed roofer.
Okay.
Neil, welcome back from your casinos in Toronto. Anyway, I haven't heard you talk anything about Derek Thomas.
You haven't heard me talk anything about it? What does that mean? He's dead.
Exactly.
What would you like me to say? Somebody called before. We had a conversation about it, and I agreed with him. And my comment was that he's dead, and he's that's it. Why are we having a big Simus about it?
I missed it. My apologies. But wasn't he the one, or his mom said something, or she said the magical words as he was tumbling down that interstate when he had the accident, that he was alive because he said, "Save me, Jesus," or something like that? Wasn't it him?
No. I'm trying to remember who the hell that was. No, that was somebody that played in the Super Bowl. Who the hell was it? Wasn't somebody from who the hell was it?
Oh well.
Was it somebody from Tennessee that said that? No, it was somebody from the Rams, somebody from St. Louis that said that. I can't think of who it was. Somebody will call and tell us, some sports nerd, but it was not Derek Thomas. You see, if he would have just said the right word, he'd have been okay.
Exactly.
If he would have just said Jesus, Jesus.
Well, anyway, did you see that the Air Force had a flyby at the over Arrowhead Stadium?
Isn't that great? Government money was spent to honor a dead football player.
Exactly.
Isaac Bruce. There you go. That was the guy. Isaac Bruce, who's
okay.
from a local Schwarzer, by the way. He's the one that said, when I say Jesus would have stopped a bullet, et cetera, and so on. Obnoxious comments.
Incredible.
Okay, have a great day, sir.
All right, later.
And this too will pass. Just like a bad kidney stone, this too shall pass. 5670560. We got 1,400 open lines here, an hour and 5 minutes to go. Can they do it?
No.
Can they make it today?
No.
The verdict is American Beauty is a great movie because Gary the Signman didn't like it. Not for any other reason necessarily, but because he didn't like it, we assume it's a tremendous movie. And if he would have just told me that when he was on there, it would have saved us a lot of grief, and then the other guy wouldn't have had to call back and feel so bad about it. Just consider the source, okay, pal? It was Gary the Signman. Woo! To meet him is to know him. Trust me. Good guy, but a little strange. 12:56 at 560 WQAM. Hey, listen, everybody, even the nice people, like Joe Rizzoli, our guy from Roth Office Supply. He's a good guy, but, every time he comes in here, he's peddling me a song and a dance about that LASIK. I don't want no slicing in my eyeball, please. I'm an old fart. I'm happy being half bald with the glasses. It doesn't bother me in the least bit. I can see what I'm looking for real good, okay? Believe me. And I'm not cockeyed. 4 minutes till 1 at QAM.
Wake up with the first team. Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein.
No.
Weekday mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Just one marijuana cigarette can cause memory loss and paranoia. Just one joint will drive you to madness. It will make you pluck out your eyeballs just to see what's under the dresser. The world as you know it will cease to exist. You will enter alternate realities, like being trampled to death by fat, imperious Jamaican women. In fact, scientific studies have shown that marijuana causes polio and will make your balls shrivel up into tiny little BBs. Smoking marijuana will make you die. Really? You gotta believe us. We have to say things like that. Oh, and sex is bad, too. This message paid for by the Partners Against Fun in America.
All right.
Way down in Jamaica in the Caribbean, they got the best herb that you ever seen.
Oh!
Ask anybody in that neighborhood. They tell you this the country where the ganja be good.
Are you?
Rastaman has some he want to sell, and from a mile away you can detect the smell of smoke.
Oh!
Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke.
Oh!
He lights up the spliff and choke.
Yes.
Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. You can carry lots of herb in the gunny sack. Smoke it every day until your lungs turn black. With all the money that we have made, Jamaica doesn't need any foreign aid. American tourists come here and say, got nothing like this in the USA. They smoke, smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and choke. They begin to puff and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. Mama tell her son you are a Rasta man. You like to smoke the giant spliff whenever you can. Many people coming here from miles around to buy the herb from you by the ounce and the pound. Rasta man say to her, Mama, you're right. The ganja be good tonight, and then they smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke.
Yes.
The ganja be good.
All right.
Come on.
104 at 560 WQN. By the way, did you ever see Wilson Pickett? 5670560. Maybe he was working at the Frontier out there in Vegas, where they usually are picketing out in front of the building.
I saw Big Wilson Pickett.
Not anymore, you won't. I saw him picket at the New York Steakhouse. Anybody remember the New York Steakhouse?
No.
Oh, those were the days. The owner of New York Steakhouse, what that was his name? Sussman. Yeah, that was his name. Sussman, he's dead. Big Wilson, he's dead. Two big fat guys, huge. That was a great place. New York Steakhouse originally was on Biscayne. No, it was originally on the beach, wasn't it? I'm trying to think which was first, the chicken or the egg. It was either first over on the beach and then they moved to Biscayne in like North Dade. Boy, we used to have so many great places, so many, many great places. Even Rocky Graziani's used to be pretty good, which is now like some seafood joint, 135th and Biscayne, somewhere around there. Of course, you know, North Dade, it just ain't what it used to be. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I think you do. Kind of the complexion of that neighborhood has changed. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You were talking about the Westminster Dog Show.
Yes.
And the Min Pin.
Uh-huh.
Your Min Pin's a toy, not a terrier. He's in the toy group.
He's a toy? But you know what you do with toys when they're worn out? You throw them in the garbage.
Oh, that's true.
Uh-huh.
That's true. But
What do you mean he's a toy?
He's in the toy group.
He's a terrier.
No, he's a toy group. He's in the toy group. He's a miniature pincer because of his size.
He's what?
Because of his size.
Yeah.
That's why he's a miniature pincer. He's actually bred down over the years.
No, it's got nothing to do with the Doberman pincher.
Oh, yeah, he does.
No, he does not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He told me just recently when I came back from vacation, he told me, he says, I got nothing to do with a pincher.
Oh, well, he may not have anything to do with him.
Yeah.
But put him up alongside of one.
I said, pinch this. And he ran like a son of a bitch.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, me either.
I don't blame him. No,
So he's a toy?
He's a toy. He's in the toy group.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Are you saying he's a goy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Goya.
Goya. Okay, thank you. There we go. Let's have some more doggy talk. What do you say, huh?
No.
Where was the Labrador Retriever on the list? And is it as big as a bread box? How about a Shih Tzu?
Oh, that's the guy from National Airlines, isn't it? Dick Shih Tzu? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I take great exception to what this guy just said. I know my dogs, baby. And a miniature whatever he is, prancer, is a goddamn terrier.
But that's how they break it up in the, the show. Working dogs, sporting dogs, toys.
Pain in the ass, psychotic dogs, that's the Min Pin. How many years have I been warning you people out there? And also, you people that live out in the acres, quit letting your dogs run loose. Boy, does that frost my ass, because I love dogs. And I despise people. I mean, I realized once upon a time, because I've lived in plantation acres now like at least 10 years. Yeah, but 9 or 10 years. And once upon a time, when I first moved there was no Sawgrass Mills Mall. There was no nothing. It was just open. It was like living in the country. Is it living in the country anymore?
No.
No. And I don't mind those pain-in-the-ass peacocks that some of my neighbors have, and all the other, because some of these people still believe they're living out in the country. But when you let your dogs run loose, first of all, it's against the law. That's number one. And number two, if you care about your dogs, you have to be crazy. Because even on the side streets out there, people like me use those streets as strawberry shortcuts, and we're zooming 90 miles an hour up and down there. And if you don't like it, get the hell out, Too bad. No, seriously, I don't speed on those side streets, but what are dogs running around the street? Now, cats, that's more to our liking. You want to let your little pussy out there loose in the street at night, go right ahead, boy, because I got a heavy lead foot when I see pussy in the street. Man, I'm telling you. Woo! I just step on it. And the gas pedal, too. Makes for a hell of a stench, though, when you splatter one of them in the street. 5670560, pound 560 on the, hey, listen, the excuse today is I'm incoherent. I don't know what I'm saying. Must have been some bad drugs in Amsterdam. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, bad mushrooms. I do love mushrooms, though. Porcini mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. Now we're talking good Italian, right?
Uh-huh.
Yo, man, what's up with your guy from a spoker?
Well, hey, Lloyd.
How's it, Floyd?
We're Floyd and Lloyd. Let's do some picking for 'em.
All right, Floyd.
Not your nose, Lloyd.
Listen to my story about us good old boys.
We come from Alabama and we come from Illinois.
We come from Carolina and from Mississippi, too.
We love to chew tobacco and shout,
Yee-hoo! We're rednecks, that is.
pickup trucks, beer guts. Then Mr. Tony George had a good idea.
Get them stock cars, boys, and bring them on up here.
We'll throw a big party and we'll fill up the place.
It's time that Indy had a NASCAR race.
At the Brickyard, that is.
In Speedway, Indiana, U.S. of A. Yeehaw!
What's that spell?
Now us NASCAR fans are a whole new breed.
We love Rusty Wallace and we love Lake Speed.
You can see I'm a NASCAR fan from the back.
His pants are so low you can see his butt crack.
Hey!
Lloyd, I can see a half moon and it's broad daylight. Get yourself a belt.
Can I put my name on the buckle?
Some NASCAR girls don't wear no shoes on their big floppy hooters. They got big tattoos.
And Mr. If you meet a certain feller from the South,
be careful if he tells you you got a pretty mouth.
Floyd, give me big hooters with big tattoos any day.
Hey, Lloyd, look at them jiggle twins. She's got a Dale Earnhardt tattoo right there between her boobies.
And a hairy gant between her legs.
Hey, Lloyd, let them see your dick trickle. Lloyd, I meant your dick trickle tattoo.
We sure had fun in Indy and we'll be coming back.
I got myself a checkered flag. It's nailed to my gun rack.
The Brickyard's been the best time this old boy has ever had.
Next year, I'll bring my parents, Mom and Uncle Dan. Show them your new teeth, Lloyd.
I bought them on layaway.
I got me a picture of Richard Petty and Elvis.
Mounted?
No, they're just shaking hands.
1:15 is 560 WQML. This is Bob and Tom 1994 best of that's from. That's 6 years ago. And here it is 2000. And can we say Dick on the air now?
No.
I mean, we're not making any progress, are we? Why can't we say Dick? You know, I think slowly but surely, maybe rapidly, we got to start breaking down these barriers, these ridiculous artificial barriers set up by these old cretins in Washington. It's unacceptable. And the public sits back, okay, whatever you tell us, and you're right, that's a good point, because if people say Dick on the air, then all of a sudden more of these little kids are going to start sending bomb threats to school, as if one thing has got to do with the other. Maybe the fact that father is so willing to cover up and accept and condone and minimize all of this, maybe that has something to do with the way that this kid has been brought up and behaving that way. You think that might be a possibility? I think so. 567. Now, what happened to all the ladies? We had 15 ladies on there all at the same time, and then we went to the break. And of course, not only will they not call unless we're giving something away, they also won't wait because they're busy. Here's a lady in Fort Myers, though. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Neil?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Neil. I'm in Fort Myers, a lady from Fort Myers, and I'm
so
not
sorry.
calling to get anything for free.
Good.
I'm calling about the dogs. I have my own Min Pin.
I'm so sorry about that.
Oh no, he's just lovely.
No.
He's a very happy little dog. Kids
Crazy,
love him.
hysterical,
Well, yeah, he is crazy and hysterical, but that's part of the
loud,
fun.
yapping.
No, actually, mine's not.
Really?
No, yeah, he's a really pretty good little guy. We've got a cat that keeps him busy,
Good.
so that helps too.
I hope the cat's got claws.
Yeah, it does.
Good, very
Yeah.
good idea.
Okay, well, the cat runs the house,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't let her out. I agree with you about letting cats out. That's not a really good idea. But in any case, we're talking about classifying how the dog is classified.
Mm-hmm.
The different kennel clubs classify them different. If the guy that called before had listened and he was talking about the Min Pin, it is not a bred-down Doberman.
No, of course not. It's not related in any way to a Doberman.
Absolutely not. If anything, the Doberman was bred off of the Min Pin, but that's even questionable as it is.
Mhm.
But you're right, the dog is a terrier.
Right.
They put him in the toy
How
class.
do you like an old fart like that calls up and is giving me instructions? He's giving me an education about my dog.
Oh, I know, aren't they idiots?
Unbelievable.
I know. I can't believe the mentality of some of the people out there in the world, but thank
Mhm.
God for smart ones, right?
Right, for us.
But I just wanted to let you guys know that it depends on how the kennel club is going to classify the dog. It's
Now, do you have a microwave in your home?
Yes, I do.
Good. I hope it's like a full size.
Oh, God, yeah, it's a big
Just
one.
keep
but I
in
wouldn't
mind.
do
Just keep
that.
in mind, and certainly you don't want to start it up because that can be very dangerous with him inside. But just if you put him in there and close the door and tell him that if he's not nice, that you're going to have to start it up next time. It works every time like a charm.
I imagine it would.
And then there's also the regular oven, too. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
See, there you go, as usual.
Neil, God!
Had his thumb on it, as usual. This old guy, no, it's a toy and it's related. Yeah, sir, I think you need a toy is what you need. Maybe some of those gummy bears. Honey bears, gummy bears, whatever she was sticking in her...
Rectum.
Fine. That was a nice job over there, by the way, Bob. Yeah, well, it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. You know about crap, Bob. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah, I guess we're not going to get on the TMI, so might as well rip the hell out of those Cox people and tell them how we really feel about how they screwed us over big time. Had that meeting that day and tried to demean and dehumanize all of us. Well, I got better things to do than come down here and, we've tried everything we know to make this station profitable, and maybe somebody else will have better luck. Yeah, maybe somebody else will have better luck, like Buddy Bud Paxson. Some schmuck like him that wouldn't know a radio from a pop-up toaster and still wind up selling the goddamn station and making a big profit off it, no doubt. Didn't they make a big profit off of it?
Uh-huh.
You bet your sweet ass they did. Big time. And then, of course, he got that Paxson, that bullcrap going, that phony, baloney, hypocritical, pseudo-religious bullcrap, and got NBC in on the deal and made millions and millions more of that. But guess what? The best part of the deal is his stock is still in the crap for about $11 a share. Don't buy the Paxson stock, and don't, whatever you do, buy the 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a pig report in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Yeah, don't forget, don't ever buy the...
Right.
Right, yeah. Gotta give you the Oinker report real quick. Going westbound on Taft Street, just before you get to Flamingo Road.
Oh, right by the old radar trap, yeah?
That's it, right by the mobile station there, just before you get to C.B. Smith Park. There's a pig, they're doing it.
They live there. They must set up shop there and just to camp out.
Well, they have a couple of favorite spots along Taft Street. That's one.
Taft and Hiatus is another one.
Exactly. I was going to say that as you're going west.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you go a little bit further down towards Taft and Palm. They love that neighborhood as well.
Yeah.
And then just before you get to the next little shopping center, which is Taft and I think it's Douglas.
Right.
They're usually parked down there.
Yes.
But today they're doing Taft and Flamingo. So thanks a lot, Pembroke Pines, for keeping us
That's
very safe.
That's all they do, especially in Pembroke Lakes, more so than Pembroke Pines. Pembroke Lakes, that's all that they do is sit out there and shoot crap in the street.
They're doing it, man.
Thanks for the good news.
Well, thank you, sir, and have a good time at the hockey game tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Or tonight. Is the game tomorrow?
No.
Tonight. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yeah, I'll have a good time if and by the way, how about that Ray Whitney? I forgot to mention that the other day. Gets added there because that frog Pierre Turgeon was injured and gets added late there for the North American team for the All-Star game. Has a goal and an assist.
Oh!
Pavel Bure, of course, most valuable with the hat trick. And Victor Kozlov with 3 assists. Nice representation there from your Panthers there in the All-Star game. And I don't care. Somebody faxed me yesterday and tried to give me a song and a dance about the crowd for the San Jose game last Wednesday when I was on vacation. Wasn't as bad as what I said. I hate to break the news to you, okay, but I rechecked from some of the experts, people that pay attention to these things, including my friend the Rim Man, and they said the crowd was pathetic. In fact, all season long, to be honest with you, the overwhelming majority of the time, the size of the crowd has been disappointing at best. Now, 3,500 unsold tickets for the Ranger game tonight, really bizarre. And I sure hope that the Panther people go out there and get the Panther pack in the final unsold tickets so we don't have to have a lot of pain-in-the-ass Ranger fans there. Hawking and Chinik about Ed Jackman and Gump Worsley and all that beefo crap. How's his restaurantes doing, by the way? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Aventura. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Let me say it again. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes.
Huge pig report. 163rd Street Northeast 8th Avenue, 25-30 cops, no radar, pulling you over for the seatbelt.
Seatbelts.
Yep. Seatbelt USA, baby.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the good news. The seatbelt police are at it. The radar police are at it. Your law enforcement dollars at work, keeping you safe. Are they keeping you safe?
No.
No, they're hassling your ass. See, that's another thing I was thinking while I'm over there in Amsterdam and they're just walking along minding their own business. You know, on both sides of the main police station in the red light district, on the Wormerstraat, the Rue de Vaseline as most people call it, on both sides of the police station, there are coffee shops. One on each side.
That's for convenience.
No, I'm serious. There are coffee shops, and they're inside smoking. They got their little menus with their weed and their hash and whatever they're doing inside, and they're not paying any attention to it. And about a half a block down, like I said, is the Stable Master Bar for all the leather freaks. Just like America, right?
No.
No. No, see, in a lot of in civilized places, they pay the cops to protect you, to keep it safe. Here, they pay the cops so they can hassle us. That's what they pay the salaries for. so they can sit there. This morning, coming down hiatus to Broward Boulevard with my little strawberry shortcut to work every morning, I'm going down hiatus, and there's two plantation porkers sitting over there in the middle of the median there on a road where the speed limit is 35 and should be minimum 45. One of their favorite speed traps, like shooting fish in a barrel on Hiatus Road between Sunrise and Broward Boulevard. Shame on you. And, of course, I say this, and the plantation chief hates me like poison anyway. But that's okay, because he'll die someday. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay, sir.
Good. Just want to let you know also, I happen to be east on Sunrise Boulevard, and I go into that PetSmart there all the time. And what do you know? As soon as you turn into PetSmart, there's this guy in a white, I guess it's a Fury. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, but he has radar out looking for people heading, I guess, west, heading west on Sunrise Boulevard. So he's out there also. And also, I went over to, like I said, I was going over to the PetSmart open there. I'm not too sure if you shop there or not, but
I've never been in there.
That is the most rudest place that you can ever shop at, and I'm going to go to Pets. I'm going to go to Pets.com for that.
Yeah.
I mean, just to order stuff on the internet because. Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're rude.
Oh, extremely rude. They have one cashier with 30 people in there, and I talked to the manager and I said, listen, how come you have 30 people waiting here and you only have one cashier? And he goes, well, the other cashier is stocking shelves.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I made a good choice. I've never been anywhere close to that place. And I could walk from my house to there, and I'd never been even thought about going in there.
Yeah, I'm also very happy that the English Springer Spaniel won that great show because we have one of those dogs, and they're a fantastic dog breed.
Okay, have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
No more dog breeds, okay? I'm sorry you brought it up. No more doggy breeds. I don't want to do the dog thing again, okay? Because then we get calls like that old fossil before giving me a lecture, a song, and a dance, and always very insistent. The people I love the best are the ones who are insistent, and you know that they're wrong. Everybody in the world knows they're wrong, but they're insistent. Oh, no, I'm sorry, but the Earth absolutely, the sun travels around the Earth. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's do some more doggy talk. What do you say?
No.
Come on, where's that on the list? Is it number 1? Is it number 500?
And there's only one big event left, and that's Best in Show. It's coming up.
Get out of here. Get those silly people, those silly, prancing, mincing people with those leashes. Those people should be on a goddamn leash. 126 at 560 WQM.
Only one South Florida radio station has and you're listening to it. At Goldberg, weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Ray Whitney has a pair.
1, 2, 3. I made it through college and averaged a C. I have a lot of money, but not much of a brain, like most of you voters who were just as lame. But I can say one thing that you can't. My daddy is an ex-president. I got money, power, and nothing to lose. I can do anything I choose. A little bit of cash is all I need to satisfy my ego and my greed. Manipulative marketing's all I use to garner votes for morons just like you. Back in school and they fun and laugh. I don't think I laughed that bad. Remember to vote for George Bush, and those of you who don't, you can kiss my tush. You see, what matters to me about the presidency is that it makes a nice conversation piece. I'm the king of denial, too. I have no problem lying to you. So why is it so important for you to know whether or not I did blow a little bit of cocaine up my nose, a little bit of toot, a little blow? When I'm elected, I'll put it into all that. When I put up the concentration camps.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, 131 at 560 WQAM. How about a little,
Yo, listen up, here's the story about...
First radio show in America to play that song months and months and months ago, and there are people who question my taste in popular music. 5670560, pound 560. First person on this in this part of the neck of the woods to play the Bloodhound Gang.
I give you credit for that.
And the Bad Touch. And Touch This. Here's Lakeport. Hello.
Pass on our shoulders. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Blue. I mean, Neil.
Oh, yeah. This is Blue.
I apologize.
That's okay.
A long-time listener. Love your program.
Yeah.
I'm at work.
Yeah. Little Blue.
You got to bear with me. I'm at work. I'm trying to sneak this phone call in. But I just had to call you up and tell you that I'm kind of partial to doggy style myself.
Uh-huh.
And
okay, great. Yeah, he's over on the West Coast. That figures he's into doggy style.
Rectum.
Yeah. On the receiving end. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Out of town line, if we got any more mouth breathers like him, 877-785-6345. Hey, listen, you don't have to be sheepish about it over there on the West Coast. We understand that a lot of you guys like getting down on all fours. It's okay as long as you have your rear view mirror on, I guess. Here's a mobile in Deerfield Beach. Hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
Great.
I just want to tell you what the new meeting for the NFL is.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Like I said, I think we got to probably play the whole thing because this is pretty weak. And you wonder why we resort to music on these shows every now and then, because you can't do a 4-hour show in this town anymore. They have no material. They have nothing to say. And those women that were on there before, they're gone. Here's a lady in Hialeah. Maybe she's got something to say. Hello.
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Neil, I just wanted to say, I'll make it quick and simple here. I just wanted to tell those Ranger fans today in the game, because I'm going to be there, they're going to get their asses handed to them.
I think so. I think about 5-2 sounds good. Panthers.
Yes, that sounds good to me, Neil. It sounds good to me. Are you going to the game?
I'll be there.
All right, Neil. What section are you in? I'd like to say hi to you.
101.
All right, I'll be there, Neil.
Be there with bells on.
All right, I sure will. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
It's Pavel and Ray, Whitney and Bure and Whitney. And then he's, like I said yesterday, Greg Kotex and, or was it the Dan LeBastard, I guess. He's one of the all-time worst. And Dave Hyde. Boy, Dave, every once in a great while, about twice a year, he writes something that makes sense, and the rest of the time he regresses. And the only times he writes anything that makes any sense when he steals it right out of the show. But, of course, I was on vacation, so what does he write about Dan Marino, the greatest athlete? They both wrote this crap. The greatest athlete to ever put a uniform on in this town. So ludicrous, so ridiculous. As much as I love Danny Boy, and as great as he was a statue. A statue with a great arm, a great passer, a great competitor, a guy with, lots of ability, lots of desire to win. But to call him the greatest athlete, to put him in the same class with Pavel Bure is like, it's a joke. It's like putting Greg in a class with Rick and Suds, Shame on you guys. But it's a one-dimensional horse and buggy town, so what do you expect? You expect them to broaden their horizons and learn something a little bit beyond the same old crap?
No.
The same old pigskin? No. One thing about that Dan LeBastard, he wouldn't know a pigskin from a foreskin. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Hollywood.
Neil Rogers, my friend. How are you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Nice to have you back in this dump. And I want to just give a quick pig report and also let you ask a quick question. Pig report, first of all, is on Pines Boulevard going eastbound by BCC. They're sitting out there like with goddamn cameras holding them out there like the
Oh, maybe they're on the way to Godfathers.
Second thing was, I just wanted to know your official anniversary date in the market.
March 1.
March 1.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody has a heart, get out there and send cards. Can you give an address out? Or?
If they have a heart.
They don't give a crap. Well,
No, they don't give a Schmidt. That's right.
But, I mean, I live in Hollywood. We just had an election with the mayor, and out of, I don't know, so many people in the city, maybe like 6,000 showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the world today.
Yeah.
And when they wonder why
in
you can't
Hollywood,
say dick.
there's only 6,000 people that are able to get out of the house, don't you understand? The median age in Hollywood is death plus 10.
That's a good point.
Well, have a great day, pal.
Take care, buddy.
Hang in there.
Bye-bye.
There's a young man in Hollywood. I feel for him, believe me. I feel sorry because, like I said, the median age in Hollywood is 100. It's Methuselah plus 10. Very old, crusty place, Hollywood. And poor Joe Costello. Joe's a good guy, but he was trying to give me a song and a dance again about that place where they got the thin pizza on 441. What's the name of that? Villa Rose? Don't you remember years ago people were, I was talking about the great thin pizza that they make in Italy in the wood-burning ovens? In fact, I heard Beefo do a spot this morning for a place. I can't think of what the name was. It was one of his famous restaurantes where he's going to be doing an appearance this Saturday. And their big deal is that they do the pizza in the Italian wood-burning ovens. The real thin Italian, I'm assuming they make, I hope. So at any rate, he was trying to give me a song and dance about Villa Rose. Villa Rose is okay if you like sauce on a cracker. That's what their pizzas are like. And in the clientele in there, you talk about hillbilly heaven. And maybe that's why Joe likes it. Maybe he gets a lot of his truckers in there. They can talk a lot about auto racing and the Darlington of this and Darling that. That's what, what's his name? Gordon John Cox says a lot. And also the other Gordon. Yeah. He says something about Darling. You don't know Gordon Johncock from Hastings, Michigan? You don't know your auto racing, man.
No, I don't.
You're so limited.
I know, the Petties. They're always on the bread. When you go to North Carolina, all the loaves of bread have racers on them.
Yeah.
And trading cards.
Petties and Darling, yeah. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. You can be sure all those auto racing guys meet at those truck stops a lot. Hello. Mobile in Miami going once.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, boss?
Okay.
I just got back from Real Man's Town.
What's that?
Vegas.
All right.
I went for the first time. I went for the first time in my entire life, and let me tell you, I stayed at the MGM Grand.
Right.
$8,600.
You made $8,600?
$8,600 coming back from Vegas. I went up with like $2,500, and my girlfriend lost most of it, but I came back and I made bank, $8,600.
You made $8,600 profit.
8,600 profit.
Oh! There you go.
I'm moving back. I got to get out of this town. This place is a big dump. I just got to get out of here. I'm going back to Vegas.
Okay, I'll see you there. National
All right,
Airlines, man, do
Okay.
it. Okay. So Vegas is still there and it's still pretty good, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's reassuring to know. 567 5670. And this town is still here and it still sucks, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Not so reassuring to know, but I kind of felt it, when I came back when I got it. In fact, as we walked through the jetway on that plane from Atlanta, coming back the last leg of my journey back from Amsterdam on Monday, and you could hear people say, I'm almost always the first one off the plane and one of the first 4 or 5, the other way around. And the people behind me are going, oh my God, feel that humidity? Just hit them in the push. These are almost all people from, other parts of the country. From Atlanta. Oh, and by the way, talk about a cracker town. Anybody ever calls this show and tries to tell me that Atlanta is like a civilized place, between your papers and the bumpkins up there and the people you hear on the radio, that is the most Yahoo. I remember the time they were talking about simulcasting the show on WSB in Atlanta when we were at IOD, and then they had second thoughts about it because they said that if you think Tampa is Yahoo and parochial, Tampa is like metropolitan compared to Atlanta. And they're right. Atlanta is so if you think John Rocker's out of place being in Atlanta, you're dreaming. That's a perfect spot for him.
Yahoo!
That's their middle name in Atlanta. And so it's kind of surprising to me they let all those Spartans in there. 21 before 2 at 560 WQM.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming.
Well, I think the time is right for me to touch my body. One part there on my body is just giving me a clue. So I gotta look twice and find myself a hideaway. And I know one good hideaway, and that's my bathroom. Oh, I'll find my Playboys and creamy lotion. Put the towel right down on the floor. Oh, I'll put my wrist action in that slow motion. And I pray that no one accidentally opens up the door. Cause I gotta masturbate.
Squirt.
I gotta masturbate. Yeah, I gotta masturbate, debate. I gotta masturbate, debate. Download,
All right. I think I'm just going to play that 4 hours every day from now on. I mean, just, for the next however long I'm here. 145 at 560 WQM. We're rolling along here singing a song. Got a lot of Panther Ranger tickets to give away between now and 2 o'clock. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
New Rogers.
Yes, sir.
Cardiologist here in Miami. Heard that you were giving away tickets, and I stopped my surgery just to call in.
Sure.
It was a joke. I was listening to people who just kind of call out of the blue, like some women. Hey, I hear you're giving away free tickets.
Did you say out of the blue?
Yeah, out of the blue.
Yeah, okay.
Must have been a subliminal message.
Probably. See, I plant all these. It's part of my evil thing that I do. This agenda.
Exactly. Listen, love your show. Just wanted to call in and kind of break up a little tension there.
Excellent. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll pray for us.
Thanks.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
There you go. He pulled off his heavy duty. There's probably people dying over there, and he called in to do that thing. Nice going there, sir. Let me say it again. They're from Italy, Eiffel 65. And I would play a little bit of Move Your Body, too, but somebody evidently liked that CD so much that one disappeared, but nevertheless, I'll make another one. I'll burn one. I'm going to go home and burn one tonight, and a CD, too. What? That was a great. That was a good investment. You remember that day?
Yeah.
That was quite a project. Now, who was it? It was poor Volker Bryan. What was the name of that place? That
Sam Goody.
No, that wasn't the name of it.
Oh yeah. Ash. Wait. Sam Ash.
Sam Goody is a record store.
Sorry.
Sam Ash.
Wrong, wrong
you don't
Sam.
know your Goody from your Ash hole.
I know Summer of Sam.
Sam.
Son of Sam.
Sam, and now I'm confused. Sam Ash. Boy, did that place suck. Yeah, they wanted, I don't know what the deal was. They wouldn't take his check, and then they wouldn't take my credit card number, and then they wanted
take cash without proper ID.
Oh, my God. Then where did I finally get it? Did we get it from them?
Yeah.
After a lot of, all kinds of grief. But from a different store.
Right, a different location.
Yeah, well, whatever that one location was, maybe somebody remembers. We ought to rip them an ass again. Like every 6 months, put it on the calendar. By the way, do we have a thing coming?
A thing?
Yeah. I don't want to say where because John Penis isn't here anymore. No, it was Brian's account. I thought we are on a Saturday. But he never got back to us. Is that because I don't want one of these things to pop up and then have him say, "How come you never showed up?"
I know nothing about it.
Seminole Indian. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Well, when is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See, it's one thing about our salespeople and a lot of other people around here. They don't bother speaking to me as little as possible because they're terrified, which shows what a bunch of pussies they are. So they go in there and they talk to George, just like that book that Gary Sarner left over here. Did you ever get a hold of him?
Did you read it yet? No.
Yeah, I read it in between the breaks on the show. Okay, whatever you want, Gary. We'll peddle anything here. Here's a mobile in Deerfield. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy early anniversary.
Thank
you. Calling from the home of Cemetery Village.
2 weeks from today. How do you like that? 2 weeks from today will be March the 1st, 24 years on the air in this godforsaken place.
Neil, I'm going to Amsterdam first time with my wife for an anniversary. Where would you suggest I stay?
I would suggest you leave your wife home, first of all.
All right.
And secondly, stay at a nice hotel.
All right.
Like the Hotel Crown Plaza would be nice.
And is there plenty of entertainment there?
There is lots of entertainment. There is nonstop.
Right.
You'll be very entertained. Like
You're
I said,
God.
leave your wife home.
Hey, Neil, you're God.
Okay, have a great time. What?
So how's the 26th for you?
You see, that goes to show you what I'm talking about this place.
Apparently it's all arranged, and
it's all
I didn't know
arranged, but
to
it's
do
not
this.
on
The
the
first I
calendar.
heard of it.
Yeah. Well, that's because he doesn't speak to us, okay? We have this relationship with a sales, and speaking of the sales department, so when is Peter Leonard going to the coast? Or is that just a rumor that I started on the air? Yeah, isn't it bad timing, Peter? See, this is why Peter Leonard schmoozes with Bobby Green and all the people in the business and Paulie over there on Zeta and this one and that one, because he hip-hops. He hops around. He's like a goddamn butterfly in heat. Speaking of butterflies, you know what they call, huh? Well, what is a butterfly before it becomes a butterfly? It's a caterpillar, right?
Right.
And if it's a black caterpillar, what do they call it? A cocoon. Actually, it was a black caterpillar with a speech defect, but that would have been bad. We don't want to make fun of people with speech defects. Here's Deerfield. Hello. Deerfield.
Deerfield, that's me.
That sounds like you.
Hey, I don't have a pig report, but can I tell you my...
Too many pig reports.
Can I tell you my...
Not that I don't appreciate them, but boy, it gets...
But I got a good BSO story for you.
A BS...
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah. Sunday night, pulled over, converged on by 3 BSO, pulled out of my car at gunpoint.
Really?
Handcuffed, thrown in the back of a cop car. Why? Because they're looking for a guy in the same car that I have, a Honda Civic. How many Honda Civics are on the road?
About 45,000 every highway.
And so I get pulled out and almost shot in the face. I have a New York Islanders license plate in front of my car. I thought, geez, that's no reason to get shot in the face.
No, they should have pulled you over and give you a sympathy card.
They should have, really. I'm hurting. So I'm a lifelong Islanders fan, so I'd love to see the Rangers get the crap beat out of them.
Yeah. Well, I understand there's plenty of free tickets, so I hope we'll see you at the box office. Okay, 5670560 pound 5. Now listen, the fact that we got all 9 lines lit up for the first time today, I hope that they're not taking seriously that crap about giving away hockey tickets, because this guy laughed when I said it. I'm sure he realized, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Good. I mean, being an Islander fan, he's got to have a great sense of humor. How about those Islanders, huh? That's okay. The Flyers will be upset. They'll learn their lesson with that Gino Ojic crap. You know, just too many goons on one team. Goon rhymes with cocoon. 10 before 2 at 560 WQM. We got the Rangers. In fact, I haven't given out the schedule for today. Shame on me. Duff's probably sitting in there rubbing his hind legs together like an insect. We got Hank in the studio at 2. We got Geldy on game night at 6 o'clock. Now, Geldy's going to have some great rumors, by the way, about Bluff going over there to Kiss FM to be the PD and about, what's his name, coming over here?
Joe Zagacki.
Yeah, which better not happen. And then 7 o'clock, we got the pregame to Rangers and Panthers, 7:30. And then on Waxy, we got Hurricane basketball, Providence College Friars and Hurricanes on 790 Waxy at 7 o'clock tonight. And then Ed Kaplan after all of that chazarai. And George was just telling me about what a great guy Mark Vandermeer is, which I already knew that. Not only is he a good guy, but he's also talented. He does a really good job. Nice going there, Mark. And, of course, the obvious question is, what is he doing here? We just don't know. 151 at 560 WQAM.
Jim Mandich talks sports weekends right here on Sports Radio 560 QAL.
It just keeps getting bigger.
You've heard him squeak. You've heard him sing. Now the ferret talks dirty on a crystal clear digital recording that can now be yours. Listen to the dirty talk. Picture what he's doing to you. Let his words work their magic. It's the Ferret Talks Dirty. Available now for $69.95. Order today.
156 at 560 QM. So Hank just gave me a little piece of advice. He said, you know that stock?
No.
Yeah, he said, just keep that word in mind.
No.
I can't say which one, but he just kept saying.
No.
5670560. Why in the world could I possibly be given the number with 4 minutes till 2 o'clock? How can I be doing that? Huh? I must be losing it. Am I losing it?
Uh-huh.
Poor Rick and Suds. Here's a Mobile in Davie. Hello. Mobile in Davie. Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Good. I just want to say that tonight I'm going to my very first Panthers game.
All right. Great.
And I think that in this town, Pavel Bure is the most underrated, underappreciated player we've got in this town.
Absolutely correct, sir.
And I think that more people, I mean, forget the heat in the arena. I understand there's empty seats, but there should not be an empty seat in that arena tonight. I want to see everybody. Correct. There's so many fans here. I don't care if you're an Islander fan or a Rangers fan. If you're a fan of hockey, you want to see the best thing in this town, go see the Panthers play.
What do you mean in this town? He's the best player in the world, not just in this town.
No, I'm saying the Panthers in general. The Panthers are the best thing we got in this town.
Right. They're the only thing we got in this town. That's all we have is the Panthers and Godfathers, and that's about it.
Exactly, and they are so exciting to watch. I've watched them on TV. I've been following them in the paper, and I think that the supposed newspaper guys in this town don't know what they're talking about when it comes to the Panthers.
Well, they got a lot of company. I'll see you there tonight, pal.
All right, see you then.
All right. We love you, Panthers. Oh, yes, we do. Come on, let's get out there tonight. What do you say?
No.
Come on.
No.
How about if we give you $100?
No.
How about if we give you free parking?
No.
How about if you get laid there in the arena?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing, you can come out and take a look around, all of it depends on which game it is. You know, some games you look around, there's a lot of real interesting looking people. Other games you come and you look around in the crowd and you go like,
yeah.
Like the night that those rednecks were there. Wow.
Hey, put him in the board. Put him in the board, Worrell. Come on, you Schwarzer.
Which I was kind of impressed that there was I knew he was a listener because, you know, when a redneck is out there speaking Yiddish. Here's a lady in Pompano Beach. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm excited about going to the hockey game tonight.
Great.
I'm a great hockey fan. I grew up on hockey in Rochester, New York.
Rochester Amherst. Go Amherst, go, baby.
My dad was from Toronto, and he used to take us over to Toronto to see the Maple Leafs, and we used to go to the Amherst games all the time.
Right.
Of course, when we were kids, a ticket for my dad to take us was like $3 for kids, something like that. The thing about the Panthers is the big money guys like Wayne Huizinga have definitely priced out the average working person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm dating a single father. He has 2 teenage sons. We're going to the game tonight. We got the least expensive tickets, $25 a piece. That's $100.
Jesus.
And we're going Saturday night because I got to see Yager.
Right.
And the $25 tickets were sold out, so we have $38 tickets. That's $152. Oh, my God. That's just for
wow.
tickets.
Jesus Christ. That's
You know, and I love hockey. It's
yeah.
the last great sport, but the big money guys and the big salaries are just ruining it for, you know, the average guy.
You're right. They're killing it.
But we watch it every night on TV that they're on. Go Panthers.
All right. See you tonight.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Final score tonight, by the way, Panthers 5, the New York Rangers 2. I just say that as one of those people that has tremendous psychic powers. You can feel it. You can smell it. And every time number 14 comes out there on the ice, see, there's the good number 14, which is our Ray Whitney, of course, which is God. And then there's the evil, obnoxious little 14, which is Theo Ferry, a